Welcome to the fantasy audiobook. Pokemon. Pick up the Super Dream Treasure box at the beginning. Chapter 1. Welcome all players to the world of LFOL. This is a world where Pokemon and humans coexist. In this world, you can capture Pokemon, fight side by side with them, and become a glorious Pokemon master. In this world, you can explore as much as you want, discover unknown treasures, and capture rare elves. Friendly reminder. This game world does not have any novice guidance function, and all functions require players to explore on their own. Friendly reminder. The game is in the real world, and anything the player obtains can be brought back to reality. Similarly, if the player dies or is injured in the game, it will be synchronized to the real world. Friendly reminder. This game lasts for 3 days. After 3 days, everyone will be recalled to the real world. Everyone, this is a good opportunity for you to be ahead of others. Please seize it seriously and explore to your heart's content. What are you looking at? I'm Rayquaza's cousin. Do you think you can get me? On the grass, a green caterpillar with red forked horns was confronting a teenager. Green caterpillar, I have entered the world of Pokemon. So, what the voice said just now is true. Wong Ming pinched his cheek and said in disbelief. After the introduction from the extraterrestrial voice just now, and the elves appearing around him from time to time, Wong Ming has determined the current situation. He came to the world of Pokemon. Just before that, Wong Ming fell asleep listening to the English teachers chirping birds in English class, and imagined running around and sweating in physical education class. The next moment, he came here inexplicably. The world of Pokemon, players, games and reality. Wong Ming suppressed his inner excitement and began to try to accept this fact. Soon, the thoughts in his mind were cleared up by him. Some useful information was also clearly captured by him. This situation is a bit complicated. After figuring out the situation, Wong Ming couldn't help but smacked his lips. This so-called game world may not be as simple as that voice said. But let's make peace with it now. We still need to quickly explore this world and accumulate our own strength. And we only have 3 days, so we can't waste it. Wong Ming murmured to himself, with a flickering light in his eyes. Although what happened to him was bizarre, as a Pokemon fan, Wong Ming adapted quickly. In the world of Pokemon, the most important thing is the Pokemon. And if I want to gain a foothold in this world, I must first obtain an initial elf. Wong Ming briefly analyzed what he was going to do next, and then looked around, only to realize that he was in a forest. It's embarrassing. Without novice guidance, how can I get the initial elves? Wong Ming frowned slightly, gradually realizing the seriousness of the matter. Generally speaking, the system will guide novice players to a certain research institute and then select their initial elves. However, in this game, there is neither a novice guide nor a novice gift package. It's really not an easy thing to get an initial elf. Wong Ming couldn't help but fell into distress. At this moment, a mechanical system prompt suddenly appeared in his mind. Ding! Congratulations to the host for awakening the treasure chest system, it is being bound, please wait. Suddenly, Wong Ming's eyes lit up, his blood boiled, and his breathing became quickened. Treasure box system, has my golden finger arrived? So, I am the protagonist of this world. He, this feeling seems pretty good. Wong Ming couldn't help but stood there and giggled. Since he was not the only one summoned to this world this time, Wong Ming never thought that he was the legendary son of destiny. But when the sound of the system appeared, he realized that he still had not escaped the clutches of fate and became that lucky person. Call. Taking a deep breath, Wong Ming tried to calm himself down, and then asked expectantly, "System, tell me what functions you have." This system allows the host to discover treasure chests hidden in the game and obtain various rewards by opening the treasure chests. Hidden treasure chest. It sounds good, but I don't know what kind of things can be found in the treasure chest. It would be great if I could create a Rayquaza, Kyogre, or something like that. If not, Groudon would be good too. Although he can't fly, he's still very powerful. Wong Ming muttered a few words and began to imagine beautiful scenes. At this moment, the system's beep suddenly appeared in his mind again. Ding! Go to 100 meters and there will be a treasure chest. Okay, is there a treasure chest? Wong Ming suddenly became excited. He quickly looked ahead. Sure enough, in a patch of grass not far away, an object with an unclear shape was shining under the sunlight, flashing with dazzling golden light. Wang Ming just glanced at it and felt that the treasure box was very special and might be able to unlock something unbelievable. You're not really going to let me get it right, are you? Wang Ming became excited. If that was the case, then he was really lucky. Go and see. With a nervous and expectant mood, Wang Ming quickly ran to the golden light. Wow, golden legend. Wang Ming was stunned, his eyes full of greed, staring at the treasure box at his feet. At the same time, the system's sound also started to sound. Ding! Congratulations to the host for discovering the legendary treasure chest. Do you want to open it now? Legendary treasure chest. Wang Ming's face was startled, and he asked subconsciously. System, how are the levels of treasure chests classified? The treasure chest levels are divided from low to high: black iron level, bronze level, silver level, gold level, diamond level, king level and legendary level. Hiss. Then isn't this the highest level treasure chest I found? Wang Ming's eyes suddenly became eager, as if he were looking at a naked beauty emerging from the bath. Yes. Then open it and take a look. Wang Ming said impatiently. What will be found in the legendary treasure chest? A quasi-god, or a mythical beast, or is it a rare prop? All this is hidden in the golden light. Whoa! The moment the treasure chest was completely opened, Wang Ming was stunned. Ding! Congratulations to the host for acquiring the strongest god of war, Mewtwo. What? It's Mewtwo! Wang Ming shouted in shock, his mind going blank. A huge shock hit him like a stormy wave, completely submerging him and making him unable to breathe. Under the influence of physiological reactions, his breathing began to become rapid. His face was also filled with blood and flushed. I actually opened the Pokemon that is said to be born for fighting, Mewtwo. Are you really dreaming? Wang Ming squeezed his thigh hard, grimacing in pain before confirming that this was not an illusion. Quick, I want to see Mewtwo, the strongest god of war. Wang Ming's face lit up with joy and he couldn't help but say. With Mewtwo, he is completely starting out like a Tianyu. What about Rayquaza, Groudon and the like, they are just mediocre. In an instant, a white light flashed before his eyes. Soon, a silver-white humanoid elf appeared in front of him. Those sharp eyes seemed to be able to penetrate past, present and future, and that stern aura seemed to be able to overwhelm all creatures in the world. Besides Mewtwo, who is known as the strongest god of war, who else could be there? Wang Ming stared closely at Cheomung in front of him, his eyes showing great joy. At this moment, information about Cheomung also appeared in front of him. Elf. Mewtwo. Gender. No gender. Qualification. Gold. Level. Level 10. Attribute. Super ability. Characteristics. Sense of oppression gives the opponent a sense of oppression, greatly reducing the number of moves they use. Hidden characteristic. Tension makes the opponent nervous and unable to use the fruit. Carrying items. None. Skills. Immobilization, telekinesis, mental waves, mysterious guardianship, tempering, high-speed stars, predicting the future, autosuggestion. When Wang Ming saw the column of qualifications, there was a puzzled look in his eyes, and he asked, System, how are these qualifications divided? Back to the host, there are 6 types of qualifications, which can be divided into white, green, blue, purple, orange and gold. White is the lowest level and gold is the highest level. There will be differences in the growth speed, ability increase, skill mastery and other abilities of elves with different qualifications. The better the aptitude of the elves, the faster the growth rate, the more abilities will be added with each level up, and the speed of learning skills will be much faster than that of ordinary elves. In addition, the elf's qualifications also determine the number of skills the elf can master. The elf with white qualifications can only control up to 4 skills at the same time, green is 5, blue is 6, and elves with orange qualifications can control up to 8 skills, and elves with gold qualifications can control up to 9 skills. I see. That being said, qualifications are still very important to an elf. Wang Ming groped his chin and muttered to himself. Regardless of strength, just the number and speed of comprehending skills are enough to stand out from the crowd. Just imagine, if the same elf is at the same level, the elf with good qualifications can not only master several more skills than the elf with poor qualifications but also learn powerful moves in advance. This is a complete advantage. Invincible position. Then my Cheomong seems to be very good. Its qualifications have reached the top level. Even at level 10, it has already mastered 8 skills. It can't be said to be powerful. Wang Ming smiled faintly and couldn't help but sigh, with even a little pride on his face. Being able to get the help of such a powerful elf would make everyone feel proud. But then, he changed the topic and said, "It's a pity that the level is too low, and it is still in its infancy. The Cheomong in front of me is only at level 10. Although its natural bloodline is powerful, it cannot withstand the low level and its strength is still limited after all." But after thinking about it for a moment, Wang Ming felt relieved. If you give him a full-level Mewtwo, he will be invincible in the early stage. What the hell? I guess the other players are ready to scold me. After figuring this out, Wang Ming felt much better. At this moment, the voice of heaven suddenly sounded over the entire world. Congratulations to player number 6 for getting the first initial elf, and will be rewarded with 20 magical candies. Congratulations to player number 6 for getting the first initial elf, and will be rewarded with 20 magical candies. Congratulations to player number 6 for getting the first initial elf, and will be rewarded with 20 magical candies. Hey, the first person to get the elf is actually rewarded. It's a nice feeling. Wang Ming grinned, very happy with this unexpected surprise. At the same time, other gamers around the world couldn't help but curse when they heard Tiandao's prompt tone. Hey, are you mistaken? You've only entered the game for a few minutes and you've already obtained the initial sprite. I'm not that fast even when I'm playing a wrestling game on the bed. Report it, this is definitely cheating. Where is the game administrator? Get out of here quickly, I want to top up the money and kill these civilians. I was about to catch the green caterpillar, but unexpectedly someone caught it first. I'm really unwilling. Baga, this hateful player must be from China. When I meet him, I will steal his elves. Oh my god, Wang Ming did not know about all this. But one thing he can be sure of is that if other players know that his initial elf is Mewtwo, many people will probably greet the 18th generation of the game administrator's ancestor. Now, Wang Ming is more concerned about giving these 20 magical candies to Cheomong. I don't know how much level Mewtwo can be raised with 20 magical candies. Wang Ming murmured to himself, and then said to Cheomong, who was cold and arrogant at the side, "Lai Bauer, try this, it's delicious." Cheomong looked at the rainbow-colored candy in Wang Ming's hand with suspicion, but finally chose to believe Wang Ming and swallowed it all in one gulp. Suddenly, a stream of pure energy spread out within Cheomong's body. At the same time, Mewtwo's level was also rising rapidly like a rocket. Level 11, Level 12, Level 13, the trend isn't stopping. Level 14, Level 15, Level 16, the trend still hasn't stopped. Level 17, it wasn't until Cheomong's level was raised to level 30 that he stopped. From level 10 to level 30, it's a full 20 levels improvement, which is really good. Wang Ming smiled with satisfaction. At level 30, Mewtwo has the ability to protect himself in the wild. At this moment, the system's voice suddenly sounded in his mind again. Ding! Your elf Mewtwo has new skills to learn, please choose forget to learn new skills. Is this full? It seems that Cheomong can learn a lot of new skills. Wang Ming was a little surprised. It stands to reason that Mewtwo can learn up to 9 skills at the same time. Now the system reminds him whether he has forgotten any skills. In other words, Cheomong now has more than 9 skills. With some expectation, Wang Ming couldn't wait to look at Cheomong next to him. Suddenly, lines of information about new skills appeared in front of him. New skills: Miracle Eye, Mental Blade, Power Swap, Defense Swap. Skills learned: Immobilization, Telekinesis, Mental Waves, Mysterious Guardianship, Sharpening, High-Speed Stars, Predicting the Future, Autosuggestion. Although the Eye of Miracle can make attacks easier to hit, Mewtwo relies on his own abilities and the uniqueness of his moves, so he doesn't have to worry about the hit rate of his skills at all. This can be ignored. Wang Ming thought briefly and had no intention of letting Cheomong learn the Eye of Miracles. On the contrary, the next 3 skills concerned him even more. The Mental Blade is a must. As one of Cheomong's main means of attack, its power and effect are still very good. Strength Exchange and Defense Exchange are both very good auxiliary means. They can exchange the changes in the abilities of both parties during the battle. If used well, you can make the other party work for you and directly destroy the other party's mentality. Wang Ming is very optimistic about the next 3 skills, and it can be said that he is determined to win them. But in this way, he would have to give up the 2 skills he had already learned. Which 2 skills should I forget? The effect of the mental wave is average, and the damage is fixed, so its effect is very limited. Although the power of the high-speed star is good, the general attributes of the moves are really difficult to achieve, and they are not very suitable for Mewtwo. In the end, after some weighing, Wang Ming decided to give up the 2 skills of mental wave and high-speed stars. After some operations, Cheomeng's skills have also undergone earth-shaking changes. Now, Cheomeng has mastered 9 skills at the same time. They are immobilization, telekinesis, mysterious guardianship, tempering, predicting the future, autosuggestion, spiritual blade, power exchange and defensive exchange. This way, it'll be perfect. Let's go and explore this unknown world to our heart's content. Wang Ming smiled with satisfaction, and with pride and passion, embarked on the journey to become a Pokemon master. At the same time, the outside world has turned into a mess. A large number of teenagers disappeared inexplicably out of thin air, causing panic in all walks of life and attracting national attention. At this time, in the beautiful country far across the Atlantic Ocean, inside the White House, a pleasant-looking old man with messy, fluffy blonde hair was scolding Fang Chu at the reporter below. Impossible, absolutely impossible. No one knows the art of disappearing into thin air better than me. I am certain that this must be the group of guys from China who are causing trouble. Yes, it must be like this. He is the president of this beautiful country today, and he is so outrageous. Through some means, he finally pulled his old rival Lao Baidong off the stage, and he himself successfully ascended to power again. But, Your Excellency, according to intelligence personnel, a similar situation has occurred in China, and it does not seem to be their fault. Moreover, as far as we know, this matter has happened in many countries, and it is very possible. It's a paranormal event on a global scale. The reporter's mouth twitched, and he did not dare to contradict him, so he had no choice but to state the facts. Wei Wei waved his hand, showing an expression as if he had known it would be like this, and said very proudly, "Ha ha ha, you have all been deceived by those guys from China. Believe me, no one can compare to me. Those guys who know China better, this incident must be their fault." The reporter's mouth twitched even more fiercely, and he was speechless for a moment and didn't know what to say. Then, what shall we do? Don't worry, let's see what those guys from China say first. Tei Mopu looked confident, as if everything was in his hands. China. All major schools have also fallen into an atmosphere of silence. A large number of students disappeared out of thin air, causing the school leaders to panic and hurriedly reported the incident to their superiors. At this time, the Wagwo Special Incident Processing Center. A man in distress wearing a military uniform took a long drag on his cigarette and asked in a calm voice, "How is it going? Did you find anything out of the investigation?" The person below held a red folder, pondered for a moment, and said, "According to our investigation, it is currently confirmed that this incident is a global emergency and it has also occurred in many countries. In a similar situation, the people who disappeared were all teenagers, generally between 12 and 18 years old. Have you figured out the reason?" The man in military uniform swallowed the clouds and then asked. "Not yet, but according to the detection of the Space Department, the entire Earth space was experiencing violent fluctuations at that time. It seems that other parallel spaces intersected with the Earth. This led to the distortion and instability of the space, allowing some people to enter by mistake." A parallel space. The man in military uniform snorted coldly and asked in a deep voice, "Do you think this statement is credible? If it is really a space collision problem, then the disappearing people should be random, but why are only teenagers disappearing?" The people below were hesitant and didn't know what to say for a long time. Indeed, this statement is indeed untenable and contains huge loopholes. But at present, there is really no other good theory to explain this matter. HMPH. Continue the investigation and don't let the people feel cold. Yes, in the world of Pokemon, Wang Ming is wandering in the forest, hoping to find more treasure chests. At this moment, the system prompt suddenly appeared in his mind. Ding! There is a treasure chest 50 meters ahead. Haha, finally there is another treasure chest. Wang Ming looked happy, and without saying a word, he hurried forward with Cheomeng. The legendary treasure chest just now gave him a taste of the sweetness. Now that the treasure chest reappeared, he could no longer contain his excitement. Soon, under a towering tree, Wang Ming saw a treasure chest emitting silvery white light. What a pity, it's not a legendary treasure chest. It looks like it's a silver-level treasure chest. I don't know what it can bring out. Wang Ming was slightly disappointed. It can be seen from the luster that this treasure box emits a cold silver-gray light, rather than the golden light that is only found in legendary treasure chests. Ding! Congratulations to the host for discovering the silver treasure chest. Do you want to open it now? Open. Mosquitoes are meat no matter how small they are. Although this is just a silver treasure chest, it is still very precious to Wang Ming, who is now penniless. Ding! Congratulations to the host for getting Super Ball 50. It's actually a Super Ball. And there are still 50. In just a moment, Wang Ming's breathing became rapid and his face turned red, completely due to excitement. He didn't expect that just a silver-level treasure chest could yield such a generous reward. In this open world where it is difficult to see even an ordinary Pokeball, let alone the rarity of a Super Ball. But now, Wang Ming actually got 50 directly, which can be said to be a huge windfall. If other players knew about it, Wang Ming would probably be the target of public criticism on the spot, causing everyone to go crazy. Haha, with so many Super Balls, I no longer have to worry about not being able to catch elves. A cheerful smile appeared on Wang Ming's face. Originally, he was still worried about what he would do if he encountered a rare elf but didn't have an elf ball to capture it. Now, this problem has been solved and disappeared. 50 elf balls, and they are also good quality Super Balls, which is enough for him to capture a lot of elf. Ding! There is a treasure chest 300 meters northwest. What? Another treasure chest appeared. The joy had not faded yet, and Wang Ming had another climax. It seems I'm very lucky today. Go and see. Maybe it's another legendary treasure chest. About 5 minutes later, Wang Ming saw the treasure chest. The treasure box exudes a charming purple gold light, like a shy little girl hiding in the grass, half hiding her face with her Pippa in her arms. Wang Ming, on the other hand, looked like a lustful gangster, staring at the treasure box with greedy eyes. This is the first time I've seen a purple gold treasure chest. I wonder what its grade is. But judging from this luxurious holy light, it must be higher than silver grade. Wang Ming muttered a few words to himself and prepared to step forward and open this tempting treasure box. But at this moment, the grass suddenly moved. Okay. Wang Ming was surprised, but before he could react, he saw a girl running out in embarrassment. The girl was extremely young, with skin as smooth as gel and as fair as snow. 3,000 hair strands were flying freely, but not messy. They were simply tied up with a butterfly hairpin, exuding crystal brilliance. The sharp weapon on the chest also rose and fell in the air due to the fierce running, dancing gracefully. Wang Ming was amazed by the girl's appearance, but he was also very surprised by it. He knew this girl. She was the recognized school beauty of their school, Wang Mengmeng. Although Wang Ming and Wang Mengmeng have never crossed paths, they have met her once and often heard her legends. Without him, Wang Mengmeng is so famous, it is simply a perfect masterpiece from God. Not only is she extremely beautiful in appearance, with the appearance of a fish sinking under the sun, and a flower shy of the moon, but she also has an excellent figure. Although it is not fully developed, it has begun to take shape, with concave and convex shapes, which arouses people's imagination. If that's all there is, forget it. More importantly, Wang Mengmeng's family background is also extremely prominent. Her father is a senior government official, her mother is a business tycoon, and her grandfather is the principal of a school. It is no exaggeration to say that Wang Mengmeng is a peerless goddess who combines thousands of advantages. Because of this, there are so many people chasing her that they could circle the earth. Wang Ming did not expect that even Wang Mengmeng would come to this world, and the two would meet here. At this time, Wang Mengmeng also discovered Wang Ming, as if she had seen a savior, and a look of hope appeared on her desperate face. Without saying anything, he ran directly towards Wang Ming. But when she noticed that the clothes Wang Ming was wearing were the uniforms of their school, her face suddenly changed, and she no longer looked happy. Run quickly, don't stay here, something is chasing you. Wang Mengmeng warned eagerly, her face extremely pale. Originally, she thought Wang Ming was a native resident of this world and could save her life. But she didn't expect that Wang Ming was also a game player who was summoned, and he was in the same school as her. She didn't want to hurt Wang Ming, so she reminded him. Wang Ming was stunned for a moment, a little confused. But soon, he understood. Buzzing. Behind Wang Mengmeng, there were actually a group of wild elves following. Those wild elves are cold-looking and hard to mess with at first glance. It's the flying mantis. When Wang Ming saw those wild elves, he couldn't help but exclaimed. As a veteran Pokemon player, he recognized the identities of those elves at a glance. It is the very powerful flying mantis. Mewtwo, stop them. Without saying a word, Wang Ming immediately released Cheomong. There are so many flying mantises right now, there are dozens of them. If you run away, you will be caught up soon, and there is no possibility of escape. The only chance is to solve them. Fortunately, Cheomong's strength is extraordinary, and his level was upgraded to level not long ago. Therefore, Wang Ming is not worried that Cheomong will be in danger. When Wang Mengmeng saw this scene, she also froze on the spot and forgot to run. He can actually summon elves. Wang Mengmeng murmured to herself in disbelief, looking at Wang Ming with shock in her eyes. Although she has never played the Pokemon game, she has a general understanding of the world from Tiandao's previous introduction. However, she has not found a way to capture the elves, let alone get her own elves. Wait a minute, he has an elf so quickly. Could it be that he is? Suddenly, Wang Mengmeng thought of the information previously announced by Tiandao. It is said that player became the first player to obtain an elf. And now, she happened to meet a player with the initial elf. This made her have to suspect that Wang Ming was the legendary player. If that's the case, he must be very familiar with the game. Wang Mengmeng's eyes suddenly lit up, but then dimmed again. But, can he defeat those wild elves? Wang Mengmeng couldn't help but have a hint of worry on her face. At this moment, Wang Ming also came over. Stay here, don't move, and leave the rest to me. Wang Ming said calmly, turned around and walked towards the group of flying mantises. Wang Mengmeng was immediately stunned by his words. Although Wang Ming's voice was not loud, the invisible momentum made Wang Mengmeng unable to feel any disobedience and just wanted to obey silently. Moreover, Wang Ming's tone was full of confidence, with a hint of gentleness, which made Wang Mengmeng's originally panicked heart suddenly calm down, as if she really no longer worried about the danger in front of her. This was the first time Wang Mengmeng felt that feeling. Wang Mengmeng looked at Wang Ming's back infatuatedly, and a strange feeling arose in her heart. At this moment, Wang Ming was like the god of war, descending from the sky to protect her when she was in the most danger. Boom boom boom. Wang Mengmeng's heart started to pound like a deer. And her cheeks couldn't help but have an intoxicating blush. Use the spiritual blade. Wang Ming directed the battle while moving closer to the treasure chest. Stab it. A substantial heart blade condensed in Cheomong's hand, slashed at the surrounding flying mantises, and directly knocked the two flying mantises away. Seeing this, the other flying mantises had angry expressions on their faces, and they all attacked Cheomong. But Cheomong was so fast that he disappeared in the blink of an eye. With one move of telekinesis, he immediately froze 5 flying mantises. Then he waved again. The 5 flying mantises were thrown out like kites with broken strings, and hit the surrounding big trees, breaking several big trees. The situation presents a crushing situation. At the same time, Wang Ming had also arrived in front of the treasure chest. Ding! Congratulations to the host for getting the king's treasure chest. Do you want to open it now? Hiss. It turns out to be a king's treasure chest, only one level behind the legendary treasure chest. When he heard the system prompt, Wang Ming couldn't help but take a breath of air. The legendary treasure chest revealed Mewtwo, so what will the king-level treasure chest reveal? Wang Ming's heart was filled with curiosity. Open. Ding. Congratulations to the host for gaining the special ability, Eye of Detection. Eye of Detection. With this special ability, you can detect the basic information of elves. Eye of Detection. It sounds very powerful, how about using it? With strong curiosity, Wang Ming couldn't help but turn his head and look at Cheomong and Flying Mantis who were fighting. At this time, Cheomung has eliminated most of the flying mantises. The only thing left, struggling to hold on, is a flying mantis. This flying mantis is very unusual, and its appearance is very different from other flying mantises. Its body is stronger and more tangible than the other flying mantises. The whole person stands there like an aloof king, with an aura of domineering power arising spontaneously. Moreover, there is a sword-like scar under the right eye of this flying mantis, which makes it look even more ruthless. Wang Ming didn't notice this at first, but now that he discovered the difference, he couldn't help but marvel. Such a powerful aura. It seems that this flying mantis is not simple. He is probably the leader of this group of flying mantises. His qualifications should not be low. Thinking like this, Wang Ming tried to mobilize the ability of the Eye of Detection. Soon, clearly visible lines of information about the flying mantis appeared in front of him. Elf. Flying mantis. Gender. Male. Qualification. Purple. Level. Level 20. Attribute. Bug plus flying. Characteristics. Technical master. When attacking, the power of low power moves can be increased. Hidden feature. None. Carrying items. None. Skills. Flash of lightning. Energy gathering. Vacuum wave. Pursuit. Point to point. High-speed movement. Wing attack. Purple qualification means that you can master up to 7 skills at the same time. That's not bad. After all, not all elves are as perverted as Mewtwo. Purple qualifications are already extremely rare, especially for elves in the wild. Generally speaking, wild elves with white qualifications are the most common. Green is already considered rare. Blue is even rarer. As for purple, it is already something that can be encountered but not sought after. Therefore, Wang Ming was very satisfied to meet a wild elf with purple qualifications. In that case, let's capture it. Wang Ming grinned, his eyes shot out with electric light, bright and dazzling. The flying mantis is already a very good elf, with a race value as high as 500, and it can also achieve super evolution after evolving into the giant pincer mantis, and its strength is top-notch. The most important thing is that the aptitude of this flying mantis is purple, which is a rare thing in a lifetime. If you just let him go, it will be a big loss. Mewtwo, use the mental blade to defeat him. A substantial heart blade began to condense in Cheomung's hand, and terrifying energy was running wildly, as if it was about to break through the restraints and emerge. And the flying mantis did not sit still and wait for death. After feeling the heart-stopping energy, the flying mantis began to move quickly, its figure as ethereal as a ghost, and its speed increased by several levels. Under the rapid speed, the wings of the flying mantis also began to emit dazzling white light, turning into 2 sharp swords, tearing apart the space and slashing towards Cheomung. Watch out for avoidance. Feeling the murderous aura of the flying mantis, Wang Ming couldn't help but give a reminder. Cheomung was still so calm, as if nothing could disturb his calm heart. Any opponent is so vulnerable in front of it that it makes people unable to arouse the slightest interest. Stab it. White light shines across the world, piercing the sky. The flying mantis rushes over. Just when the sharp blades of the flying mantises on both sides were about to touch Cheomung, Cheomung suddenly moved. Turning sideways, Cheomung dodged the attack of the flying mantis as lightly as a ghost. At this time, the sharp blade of the heart in its hand had also condensed into shape, and it hit the flying mantis without hesitation after looking at the right moment. Boom! The terrifying sharp blade hit the flying mantis, as if a huge mountain had fallen and pressed on it. Suddenly, the flying mantis felt that his body had become extremely heavy and he was falling rapidly. Boom! There was a loud noise, and the flying mantis fell straight to the ground. The surrounding dust was scattered in the air, flying all over the sky. Well done, Mewtwo, look at me next. Wang Ming admired sincerely, then took out a super ball and threw it out without hesitation. Go, Pokeball! The blue and white super ball drew a graceful arc in the air and landed accurately on the head of the flying mantis. Immediately afterwards, a red light shot out from the super ball and shone on the flying mantis. The flying mantis was also completely integrated with the red light and was sucked into the super ball. Pat! The super ball landed smoothly, shaking violently on the ground. Wang Ming's heart also started to tremble. Success, must succeed. Wang Mengmeng watched everything intently from the side, and the shock in her heart was already beyond words. At the same time, Wang Ming's image in her heart became bigger and bigger. He's amazing. Not only was he able to defeat those elves, but he also captured one of them. I wish I could be as good as him. Just when Wang Mengmeng was thinking about it, the super ball on the ground suddenly stopped moving. Yes, great, I have conquered the flying mantis. Wang Ming shouted excitedly and couldn't wait to pick up the elf ball on the ground. From now on, this flying mantis is his elf. When the rest of the flying mantises saw that their boss had been subdued, they did not dare to stay here anymore and fled one by one. Wang Ming did not stop them, but was immersed in the joy of catching the elves. At this time, Wang Mengmeng also came over and expressed her gratitude to Wang Ming shyly. Thank you for saving me just now. If it weren't for you, I might have. Wang Ming waved his hand very generously. It's all right, it's just a little effort. In fact, he didn't just want to save Wang Mengmeng. The main reason was for himself. Anyway, I still have to thank you. Wang Mengmeng was once again attracted by Wang Ming's demeanor. When she thought of the scene where Wang Ming suddenly appeared in front of her just now, her face turned red with embarrassment. In response, Wang Ming only smiled faintly, without explaining too much, and prepared to leave here to find other treasure chests. When Wang Mengmeng saw that Wang Ming was planning to leave, she hurriedly took a step forward, grabbed the corner of Wang Ming's clothes, mustered up her courage, and said shyly, "Well, I can talk to you, let's go together." She was unfamiliar with the place, and if she took risks alone, she would most likely encounter danger again. By then, she would not be so lucky. Wang Ming thought for a while and said, "That's okay." Wang Mengmeng comes from a prominent family. He helped Wang Mengmeng in the game. When he returned to the real world, Wang Mengmeng owed him a favor. And this favor is of great value. Thank you. When Wang Mengmeng saw Wang Ming's promise, she was overjoyed and jumped up excitedly, almost kissing Wang Ming on the face. Soon, the two of them started their journey talking and laughing. By the way, what's your name? Wang Ming. Are you a student of Zhongnan Middle School? Why don't I seem to have seen you before? I'm relatively low-key. Then why did you save me just now? Is it because I'm more beautiful? Is there a possibility that it's because I'm more willing to help others? Then why do you keep staring at my breasts? Because it's big. Look, we're almost there, right in front of us. On the way, Wang Ming pointed to a small town not far ahead and said with a smile. After an arduous trek, the two finally walked out of the dense forest. The only regret was that Wang Ming did not see any treasure chests along the way. He didn't see even the lowest level black iron treasure chest, which made him feel very depressed. Fortunately, with Wang Mengmeng, a beautiful woman, accompanying me on the road, it was not too boring. Really, great, we can finally see other people. Come on, let's go check out the town. Maybe I can get an elf too. Wang Mengmeng's face was filled with an excited smile, and her eyes inadvertently turned to the flying mantis next to Wang Ming, with a hint of envy. Accompanying Wang Ming along the way, she gained a general understanding of the world and how important it was to have an elf of her own. Moreover, some of the elves looked very cute, which made her even more happy. Therefore, Wang Mengmeng also wants to have an elf of her own as soon as possible. Well, let's go and have a look. Maybe we'll meet other players. Wang Ming smiled faintly and walked towards the town. Soon, the two arrived at the entrance of the town. At the entrance of the town, a slightly worn wooden sign swayed in the wind, seeming to welcome guests from afar. Wang Ming looked up and was shocked. The familiar words made his calm mood fluctuate at this moment. Really new town. This is actually the hometown of that fierce man. Wang Ming's face was full of disbelief, and he was froze on the spot, muttering continuously to himself. Junshin Town, such a familiar term. But everyone who has seen Pokemon knows this place. Without it, this place is too famous, it is the hometown of that man. He fought the mythical beast with his bare hands and bathed in the thunder light alone. No matter how you attack me, I will remain unmoved. He is Master Ji, who is known as the strongest man on the face of the earth. Haha, I didn't expect that I would come to Master Ji's hometown. Wang Ming suddenly became excited, and two dazzling lights burst out from his eyes. I don't know if Master Ji is still here. If he hadn't left, maybe we could still meet him. When the time comes, we will get to know him, and then we will travel together to recruit heroines from various places. Oh no, it will be to experience the beautiful scenery of various places. Wouldn't it be beautiful? Wang Ming grinned. With such a wonderful life, which male Pokemon fan can resist it? No, men's nature is the same. Are you okay? Why are you giggling there again? Wang Mengmeng on the side tilted her little head and looked at Wang Ming in confusion. I vaguely felt in my heart that Wang Ming was seriously ill and needed to be cured. Oh, it's nothing, I just suddenly remembered something funny. Wang Ming put away his smile, wiped his mouth, and suddenly became serious. Come in, we might meet some familiar people here. What acquaintance? You'll find out later. It's strange. Hello, welcome to Junxin Town. As soon as Wang Ming and Wang Mengmeng entered the town, an old woman who was sunbathing in the yard smiled kindly and greeted them. Hello, Grandma, the two replied in unison. At this moment, a boy of 12 or 13 years old suddenly ran out of the house. The young man looked disgraced and had no idea what he had done in the house. I saw him running to the old grandma, with a flattering look, and said with a smile, Hee hee, Grandma, I have cleaned up the attic for you. Look at the reward. Hey, you kids. The old lady shook her head and laughed, and was about to slowly take out the money from her wallet. But at this moment, another boy ran out of the backyard in a hurry, holding a carp in his hand. He shouted while running, Grandma, I have finished feeding you the fish in the pond. Look at this one. Can you give it to me? I don't have any other hobbies, I just like Magikarp. This scene immediately stunned Wang Ming and Wang Mengmeng outside. They are. Wang Mengmeng opened her mouth wide enough to stuff a girl's ham into her mouth. Wang Ming didn't know whether to laugh or cry. He already understood the general idea. When he was about to say something, the old lady took the lead and said with a wry smile, Hey, I don't know what happened today. A lot of young people came to the town. They came up without saying a word. They want to help me clean the house, feed the fish, water the flowers, weed the grass, and their requests are very simple, they just need me to give them some payment. No, I am an old man and I am lonely. I thought these children could bring me a lot of happiness, so I let them stay here. After hearing this, the two of them actually understood. These sudden, uninvited guests are the players who were summoned to this world. In order to earn money and get their own elves, they had no choice but to become workers. You are also players, right? Hee hee, it seems you haven't found a clue yet, right? If you ask me, it's better to help Grandma. At least you can earn some alliance coins, and you won't be wandering around the world like a headless fly. When you save enough money, you can go to the elf store in the town to buy it. With the Pokeball, as long as we have the Pokeball, we can go to the wild to catch elves and get our own elves. At this time, one of the teenagers said with a smile, very proud, he must have saved a lot of alliance coins. The old grandma also echoed, yes, if you really have nowhere to go, come to Grandma. After living for most of her life, Grandma is still not short of money, but she is short of people to accompany her. If you come too, maybe you can still it should be more lively. Wang Mengmeng was a little moved. She had originally wanted to capture the elves, but now that she knew the method, she couldn't hold it anymore. Wang Ming shook his head and politely rejected the old lady. No, Grandma, I won't cause you any trouble. Seeing that Wang Ming had no intention of staying, Wang Mengmeng also backed down. To be honest, she still felt that it was safer to follow Wang Ming. Although she didn't know why she felt this way, she had an unusual amount of trust in her intuition. Wait for me. With that said, Wang Mengmeng quickly followed Wang Ming. Wang Ming looked back at Daihu in surprise, you don't plan to stay here. A determined look appeared on Wang Mengmeng's face, I want to follow you. Wang Ming was startled and his expression turned strange. He stared at Wang Mengmeng for a long time before uttering a sentence. You won't fall in love with me, will you? Wang Mengmeng's face suddenly turned red. No, don't think about it. I just don't want you to be too lonely on the road alone. Then, she snorted arrogantly. Humph, the most common mistake you guys make is thinking that a girl has fallen in love with you. After saying that, he held his little head high, like a proud white swan, and walked in the front. Wang Ming shook his head, laughed, and quickly followed. Hey, why don't we go earn some alliance coins and buy game props? Seeing that Wang Ming had no intention of working part-time, Wang Mengmeng couldn't help but ask. Wang Ming glanced at her, his sarcastic look undisguised. What do you think the little money you earn from part-time work is enough for you? Wang Mengmeng instinctively wanted to retort, but something is better than nothing. The ancients also knew that a little makes a lot, and a little makes a lot. But soon, she realized that there was something wrong with Wang Ming's words, and asked with a look of joy, "Wait a minute, do you have a better way to make money?" A proud smile appeared on Wang Ming's face. He gently tapped Wang Mengmeng's little head with his fingers and moved his eyes downwards inadvertently. They say big boobs mean no brains, but it seems that's not always the case. Bah, rogue. Wang Mengmeng was so embarrassed by Wang Ming's joke that her face turned rosy, like a ripe apple, making people want to pounce on it and take a bite. But at the same time, she felt happy in her heart. After all, Wang Ming praised her for her big breasts. No woman can refuse to be praised for her big breasts, just like every man wants to prove that he has big breasts. After some fun, Wang Mengmeng couldn't help but be curious and asked, "Do you have any good ways to earn enough alliance coins?" Wang Ming smiled lightly and said, "Do you know what you can do to make money the fastest in the game? Recharge. Quote. It's a mission," Wang Ming said with hatred. "Really, can't you rich people consider the feelings of us civilians?" "Yeah, why didn't I think of that?" Wang Mengmeng shouted in sudden realization, as if she had discovered a new world. But immediately, she became lost again. "But we don't have a mission." Wang Ming smiled mysteriously. "There are no tasks, we can create them. I speculate that the reason why there is no mission in this world is because we haven't triggered it yet. Once we trigger a certain prerequisite, the mission system will be opened, and a large number of mission rewards will be obtained. Otherwise, how can players maintain normal gaming with just the little money they earn from working in the game? So what do we do to trigger those tasks?" Wang Mengmeng asked expectantly. "Well, I haven't thought about it yet." Quote. Just when the two fell into a brief silence, a yellow figure suddenly ran towards them. "Pikachu, come back." Behind the yellow figure, a middle school boy wearing a trainer's hat was chasing after him hard. "It's Pikachu. The one behind is. It's really Master G." Wang Ming's eyes widened, as if he couldn't believe what he saw in front of him. He really saw Master G in the legendary strongest electric elf, Ash's version of Pikachu. Wow, what a cute big mouse. At this time, Wang Mengmeng on the side also saw Pikachu. She was so cute by its cute appearance that she opened her arms and wanted to hug it. "Do not." Wang Ming subconsciously wanted to stop it. He knew the character of this Pikachu. "Want to hug it? You can. The premise is that you can withstand its electric shock." However, it was too late. Pikachu was about to rush into Wang Mengmeng's arms. At this time, Wang Mengmeng obviously didn't realize the seriousness of the matter. Her eyes turned into crescent moons, not to mention how sweet her smile was. At this critical moment, Xiaoji behind him seemed to have a premonition of what might happen next. Without thinking much, Xiaoji rushed over and grabbed Pikachu's tail at the last moment. Suddenly, Pikachu's hair suddenly exploded, as if it had been greatly stimulated. A terrifying current instantly filled its body and spread to Xiaoji's body. Ah! Immediately afterwards, a burst of screams echoed through the sky. Xiaoji is like an electrified light bulb, shining brightly in broad daylight, vowing to compete with father-son. Wang Mengmeng froze on the spot, looking at the bright electric light flashing in front of her eyes. After a brief moment of confusion, she let out a piercing scream. However, unlike the former, she was scared. Is he okay?" Wang Mengmeng looked at Xiaoji, who was lying on the ground, breathing black smoke, and asked worriedly. Wang Ming said something leisurely at this time. "Your concern is the greatest insult to him. As the leader of Junxin Town, Xiaoji's body knows how resistant it is to being beaten. A mere electric current is really nothing." Sure enough, as soon as Wang Ming finished speaking, Xiaoji on the ground shook a few times, stood up from the ground, and was resurrected with full health. Wang Mengmeng was stunned at this scene. No one knew better than her how terrifying the current was just now. But the man in front of him was able to withstand such a high-intensity electric shock and remain unscathed. It was really incredible. Whenever Thunder and Lightning Dharma King Yang Yangshin comes, he has to be called Master G. "Hey, I'm sorry, my Pikachu didn't hurt you, right?" Xiaoji patted the black soil on his body and smiled apologetically at the two of them. Then, he held Pikachu in his arms without any scruples, seeming to have extraordinary feelings for his elf. Pikachu did the same, pouring all his feelings into the electric current and passing it on to Xiaoji. Suddenly, Xiaoji shone brightly again and became the brightest cub. Wang Ming and Wang Mengmeng were shocked and filled with emotion when they saw it. Only after experiencing it personally can you understand how abnormal Xiaoji's physique is. After a long time, perhaps because Pikachu was tired, the lightning gradually disappeared. Xiaoji was also shocked by the electricity and transformed into a Saiyan. But fortunately, it's harmless and there won't be any accidents. This is my partner Pikachu. We just met, so we don't get along very well. I must have scared you just now. I'm really sorry. The corners of Wang Mengmeng's mouth twitched slightly before she replied. No, it's fine. She suddenly discovered that the elves were not as cute as she had imagined. That's good. Hey, are you also a trainer? You green bug looks great, doesn't it? Xiaoji suddenly noticed the flying mantis next to Wang Ming, and immediately became interested. That's it. Seeing Wang Ming nod, Xiaoji looked overjoyed. That's great, let's have an elf showdown. Xiaoji's fighting madman attribute was triggered, and his whole body was ignited with soaring fighting spirit. Wang Ming was still thinking about whether to accept Xiaoji's challenge. After all, Xiaoji's Pikachu can defeat mythical beasts. Although it has not grown up yet, it still cannot be underestimated. At this moment, Tiandao's voice suddenly appeared in his ears. Congratulations on triggering the newbie mission. Newbie, have an elf battle with the trainer and successfully win the game. Task reward: Elf Ball 10, Magical Candy 3. Well, I guessed it right. The mission will only be triggered under certain special conditions. Wang Ming was stunned for a moment, then his face was filled with joy. He is most happy to do this kind of business where he makes money when he wins and loses nothing when he loses. 10 elf balls and 3 magic candies. Although the reward is not very generous, it is still a considerable reward for me now. Wang Ming murmured to himself, then suddenly raised his head and looked directly at Xiaoji, with the fire of a prairie fire burning in his eyes. Okay, let's have an elf showdown. Wang Ming readily agreed. Xiaoji was also very excited. In his world, there is no more interesting elven battle. Well, Pikachu, it's up to you. Xiaoji's head sank slightly, then he waved his hand and turned the trainer hat on his head back. At this time, Pikachu also jumped off Xiaoji's body with high spirits. Thunder and lightning flashed on both sides of the rosy cheeks, and a pair of sharp eyes looked directly at Wang Ming, as if they could pierce his soul. But at this time, Wang Ming suddenly smiled and said, "Don't worry, it's not too late for us to change places and fight again. This is not a place for fighting." Xiaoji was stunned and looked around. He found that there were many people pointing at them on the road, and he immediately scratched his head in embarrassment. Yeah, let's do that. Let's go to the wild. There are few people there and it's quite open, which is perfect for an elf duel. After Xiaoji looked like he was thinking about it, he said slowly. Okay, just do as you say. Wang Ming nodded. The wild, inaccessible place was just enough to dispel his worries. After all, only if you win this battle can you get the battle reward. Wang Ming also looked at it just now. Xiaoji's Pikachu is very extraordinary, both in terms of qualifications and strength, it is very terrifying. Therefore, to be on the safe side, Wang Ming decided to send Cheomeng to fight. That's right, it's Super Dream. As the first elf Wang Ming obtained, Cheomeng's strength can be said to be undoubted, and he is Wang Ming's main warrior. If Cheomeng takes action, Wang Ming is confident that he can win this game. Even if the opponent is a skin god, it will not help. Under Xiaoji's leadership, the three of them soon arrived at an open space outside Junxin town. At this time, there was no one else around except the three of them and some wild elves wandering among the grass. And this is exactly the fighting environment Wang Ming wants. After all, as a super rare existence, Mewtwo cannot be known to too many people. Wang Mengmeng already knew about the existence of Cheomeng from the beginning, and she didn't know what Cheomeng meant, so Wang Ming was not worried about revealing Cheomeng in front of Wang Mengmeng. As for Xiaoji, this little kid who has just fledged will probably only ask Mewtwo what kind of elf he is. Can you beat him? Wang Mengmeng looked at Wang Ming worriedly and asked. She didn't know Mewtwo's strength, but she had seen Pikachu's strength just now, so she couldn't help but worry about Wang Ming. Wang Ming had a calm expression on his face, smiled confidently at Wang Mengmeng, and said, "Don't worry, I'm invincible." Seeing Wang Ming's confident look, Wang Mengmeng was a little distracted for a moment. Especially the golden sunshine shining impartially on Wang Ming's face made Wang Ming even more handsome. At this moment, Wang Mengmeng's heart trembled involuntarily, spinning around like a deer. Listening to her rhythmic heartbeat, Wang Mengmeng could not help but blush. What's wrong with me? Could it be that I really like this bad guy? Impossible, this must be an illusion. Yes, it's an illusion. In the blink of an eye, Wang Mengmeng returned to normal. Little did she know, a seed of love quietly took root and sprouted in her heart. And in this lost moment, the battle between Wang Ming and Xiaoji had begun. "Come out, Chao Meng." When Chaomeng appeared, an invisible sense of oppression suddenly came to this space, making people feel heart palpitations, and a dense layer of sweat could not help but ooze on the forehead. "What kind of elf are you? Why do I feel a strong sense of oppression coming towards me?" Xiaoji asked in disbelief with his eyes widened. This was the first time he encountered such a powerful elf. Especially the momentum he exuded made him have the urge to surrender. Even Pikachu felt this pressure, with a rare solemn look on his face. "You'll find out later." Wang Ming smiled mysteriously and gave it a try. "Pikachu, use the lightning flash." Xiaoji saw that Wang Ming had no intention of telling him, so he simply stopped asking further and directly launched an attack. "Pick up." Pikachu moved in response, lightning surged under his feet, and disappeared in the blink of an eye, turning into a bolt of lightning and attacking Mewtwo. Faced with this sudden blow, Wang Ming didn't even need an order, Chaomeng moved on his own. I saw Mewtwo's eyes emitting lavender light, and he slowly raised his right hand. An invisible force immediately enveloped Pikachu, binding it. Suddenly, Pikachu, who was still running at high speed, stopped, left the ground, and floated in the air. "Pick up." Pikachu was shocked. He found that he couldn't use any strength. His body had lost its balance and could not be controlled by him. This feeling made it panic. At this time, Xiaoji seemed to feel Pikachu's panic and began to encourage it. "Pikachu, don't be afraid, I'm here. Keep calm and use electric shock to attack the opponent." This is also Xiaoji's first time fighting. Although he doesn't know what the situation is now, his intuition tells him that he must not give up, let alone panic. "Pick up." Pikachu was encouraged by Xiaoji and gradually calmed down. Immediately afterwards, terrifying lightning began to gather in its body, making a crackling explosion. The next moment, these thunder lights surged out and turned into a giant lightning strike towards Chaomeng. Chaomeng was not afraid, and gathered a ball of telekinesis in his other hand, and smashed it towards the incoming lightning. Boom! Thunder and lightning collided with telekinesis, exploding in the air and bursting into brilliant sparks. So strong! Xiaoji couldn't help but sigh, shocked by Mewtwo's strength. At this moment, Chaomeng made another move. I saw his right hand slowly raised, and then suddenly dropped. Pikachu in the air was like riding a roller coaster. After flying into the air, it fell to the ground at a very fast speed. "Pick up!" Pikachu screamed. "Pikachu!" When Xiaoji saw this, he rushed over without hesitation, trying to catch Pikachu with his own body. This scene surprised Wang Mengmeng on the side. As the relationship between trainers and elves so deep. This was Wang Mengmeng's first contact with this world, so her mind was still stuck in the real world. She couldn't imagine that a trainer would rather get hurt than let his elf get hurt. Wang Ming said something faintly at this time, answering her doubts. That depends on what the trainer sees as elves. Some trainers only use elves as fighting tools and don't care about the life and death of elves at all. In their eyes, elves are like weapons in the hands of humans. If the weapon is gone, the worst thing is to replace it. Some trainers are different. In their eyes, elves are not just partners who fight side by side, but also their relatives, friends, and brothers. They will even value the lives of elves more than their own lives. Importantly, just like Xiaoji, Pikachu is his friend, and a person like him will never let his friends get hurt. Wang Mengmeng nodded thoughtfully, then looked at Wang Ming with interest and asked, "Then which one are you?" Wang Ming smiled slightly, "Maybe I will become the second type in the future." "What about now?" "Hey, don't ignore me. Straight man. A big, white beauty is standing in front of you, and you turn a blind eye. When Wang Mengmeng saw that Wang Ming was no longer paying attention to her, she stamped her feet angrily. Are you okay? Wang Ming walked to Xiaoji's side, stretched out his hand and pulled Xiaoji up from the ground. Thank you. Ash grinned and stood up from the ground with Pikachu in his arms. After confirming that Pikachu was fine, he looked at Wang Ming again and said, I lost this time. But seriously, that elf of yours is really awesome. Xiaoji looked at Mewtwo beside him, with a look of awe in his eyes. Wang Ming smiled lightly. He was born to fight. But you don't have to envy me. This Pikachu in your arms is really extraordinary. If it weren't for the deep love between you two, I would have snatched it away. Wang Ming joked with a smile. Xiaoji touched the back of his head and laughed. Yes, Pikachu is my only partner, and I also think it is very powerful. While the two were talking, Wang Ming also received a hint from Tiandao. Congratulations on completing the mission. You will receive the mission reward X10 Elf Ball and X3 Magical Candy. Congratulations on defeating your opponent Xiaoji and receiving 500 Alliance coins. Oh, there is actually an additional reward of 500 Alliance coins, which is not bad. A look of surprise appeared on Wang Ming's face. This can be regarded as a surprise. What shocked him even more next was that Tiandao's reminders did not stop. Just listen to the voice of heaven ringing in the sky again. Congratulations to player number 6 for completing the elf battle for the first time and receiving the initial reward learning device. Congratulations to player number 6 for completing the elf battle for the first time and receiving the initial reward learning device. Congratulations to player number 6 for completing the elf battle for the first time and receiving the initial reward learning device. It's this player number 6 again. This guy is definitely having an affair with the game administrator. I guess he's just a pretty boy being kept by someone else. Oh, Jerry, this player no stole our reward again. When I see him, I will kick his ass hard. Baguia Road is a dead place. Wow, why is there such a big gap between people? I haven't even gotten an elf yet, but others have already started fighting elf. By the way, aren't you curious about this learning device? This is the first time I've heard this name. Who knows what it is? But the name probably has something to do with learning. Has anyone come out to explain? And the other side. Wang Ming, who was rewarded by heaven, felt happy. Tisk, 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 the learning device is really good. It is simply an artifact for early leveling. With the learning device, my mother no longer has to worry about my leveling up. Wang Ming was in a particularly beautiful mood at the moment. Wang Mengmeng on the side looked at Wang Ming in shock. She suddenly discovered a shocking secret. You're not really player 6, are you? She had had this suspicion before, and now she was even more certain of her guess. Wang Ming smiled lightly and said jokingly, show me your big breasts, and I will tell you this big secret. Sometimes, it's fun to tease this innocent beauty. Swish. Wang Mengmeng's face immediately turned red. Bah, rogue, pervert, big bad guy. This was the first time she had seen such a shameless person. It's reasonable to change the big secret to big breasts, okay. If you won't show it to me, why should I tell you? Wang Ming looked unconcerned and said nonchalantly. In fact, even if he didn't say it, the result was self-evident. The reason why he did this was just to tease Wang Mengmeng. After all, he's had an evil little quirk since he was a kid. Whenever he is in a beautiful mood, he likes to tease little beauties, especially innocent little beauties. This has nothing to do with, just interest. Look at you big-headed ghost. Even if I show it to a pig, I won't show it to you. Wang Mengmeng said through gritted teeth. At this time, Xiaoji also spoke. What are you doing? He looked at the two of them doubtfully, with only 2 words written on his face. What, didn't you hear Tiandao's broadcast just now? He is player. Wang Mengmeng said angrily, obviously still very angry at Wang Ming's teasing just now. What way of heaven? What broadcast? What on earth are you talking about? Xiaoji still looked confused. Forehead. This time, it was Wang Ming and Wang Mengmeng's turn to be confused. After the two of them looked at each other, they both saw Mingwu in each other's eyes. Only players like them can hear the broadcast of Tiandao. But other people in this game world cannot hear it at all. After figuring this out, the two of them didn't intend to dwell on this issue any longer. Nothing. Xiaoji also has a carefree character. He didn't pursue it too much, but invited, I'm going to go to Dr. Oak to pick up the equipment for the adventure. Will you come with me? Wang Ming's strength was recognized by him, so he wanted to become friends with Wang Ming. As soon as Xiaoji finished speaking, Wang Ming and Wang Mengmeng both received prompts from heaven. Congratulations on triggering the novice mission and going to Dr. Oak's Research Institute to receive novice equipment. Task reward, 300 alliance coins. Great, I finally have a mission. Wang Mengmeng jumped up excitedly, and the white rabbit on her chest trembled violently. Xiaoji, I want to go with you. She had a hunch that she would soon have the original elf. Wang Mengmeng and Xiaoji looked at Wang Ming, waiting for his answer. Don't look at me, I'm definitely going. Wang Ming smiled lightly. Although the reward for this task is not very high, only alliance coins, he is still very interested in the novice equipment mentioned in the task, and it may be helpful for his future actions. Great, let's leave now. It just so happens that I have a companion on the way. Xiaoji was very happy to have the two of them as companions. By the way, do you know where Dr. Omu's research institute is? It's on that hill. Dr. Oak originally lived with us in Junshin Town, but in order to be able to calm down and concentrate on studying Pokemon, Dr. Oak stayed away from the busy city and moved to the mountains. After passing through a dense forest, a group of 3 people appeared on a hill. Soon, a lonely research institute appeared in everyone's sight. The research institute doesn't look too shabby from the outside. On the contrary, it looks brand new. It should have been built not long ago. The research institute occupies a small area, only 2 villas add up to about the same size. The 3 of them gradually approached, and from time to time they could see wild elves playing around. There are Pichu, gophers, Rattata, etc., most of them are common elves. Until an elf with a stench all over his body appeared, making the 3 of them feel their stomachs churning, and they wanted to vomit out all yesterday's overnight meal. Wow, what kind of elf is this? It smells so bad. Wang Mengmeng pinched her nose, her eyebrows curled up tightly, but it was still difficult to conceal her beauty. It's stinky mud. Wang Ming spoke calmly. Although he frowned slightly, it was not as obvious as Wang Mengmeng's. Xiaoji, on the other hand, was even more carefree. He strode over and gave Smelly Knee a close hug. Long time no see, Shanghaoni, did you miss me? Xiaoji said with a grin, not caring at all about the smell of the smelly mud. When he was very young, he often came to Dr. Oak's place to play, and over time he became familiar with the elves here, and stinky mud was one of them. Smelly. Shanghaoni stretched out his body and wrapped Wang Ming inside, looking very excited. Ha ha ha. Xiaoji was tickled by the smelly mud and couldn't help laughing loudly. At this moment, several more elves ran out, apparently hearing Xiaoji's laughter. Behind those elves, there was an old man with short white hair, wearing a white research uniform and a kind smile on his face, walking towards the crowd. Dr. Big Wood. From a distance, Xiaoji waved his hands and shouted loudly. It's Xiaoji, are you here to receive adventure equipment? Dr. Oak also noticed Xiaoji and laughed loudly. Yeah, and I brought 2 friends with me. Xiaoji broke away from the hug of the smelly mud and introduced Wang Ming and Wang Mengmeng enthusiastically. Dr. Big Wood. Wang Ming and Wang Mengmeng both greeted Dr. Omu politely. Ha 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 ha, you 2 must be newbies like Xiaoji. I happen to have a lot of adventure equipment here, so you should also get a set. Smelly mud, you should go back to the pool first. You've made the guests stink. After that, Dr. Omu led the 3 people back to the research institute. There are very few people in the institute, just a few people, and it is very deserted. Xiaolu, pour tea for the guests. Just a moment, I'll get you some adventure equipment. Dr. Oak turned and entered another room. At this time, a cute elf with a pink horn on his head trotted out. In its hand, it also held a plate with 3 cups of hot tea. Lalora's. Wang Ming recognized this cute little elf at a glance. It was Lalula's, the initial form of Gardevoir, known as the wife beast. And this Lalula's seemed to be very afraid of strangers. When it saw the 3 people, it panicked for a moment. It didn't pay attention to its feet and suddenly fell down. And the hot tea in its hand also fell down and was about to spill on the ground. At this critical moment, Wang Ming suddenly moved. He moved sideways, his eyes were quick, and his hands were quick. In the blink of an eye, he appeared next to Lalula's, held up her young body, and then stabilized the tray with his other hand, so that the tragedy did not happen. "Are you okay, little one?" Wang Ming asked with concern. Looking at Wang Ming, who was so close, Lalula's face turned red. She suddenly became nervous and did not dare to raise her head. She could only lower her head and shake her head. At this time, Dr. Omu also came out. Seeing Dr. Omu appear, Lalula seemed to have found a savior. She pushed the tray in her hand to Wang Ming and ran behind Dr. Omu. She tightly grabbed the corner of Dr. Omu's clothes and was too shy to show her head. This scene made everyone laugh. "Ha ha ha, this little guy is so shy." Dr. Oki laughed. "Dr. Omu, why haven't I seen this elf before?" At this time, Xiaoji stood up and asked in confusion. "Oh, I met it when I was doing field research a few days ago. At that time, it was injured and bullied by a group of Rattata. I thought it was pitiful, so I brought it back and has been recuperating here. Originally, I wanted to wait until the little guy's injury healed before putting him back. Who knew that this little guy didn't want to live or die, so he just stayed here with me." Xiaoji suddenly realized. "So this is by the way, this is your equipment, take a look at it." Dr. Oki came up and handed 3 backpacks to the 3 of them. This is a multifunctional folding backpack. Its capacity is much larger than that of an ordinary backpack, and it is very convenient to carry. It also contains a Tulomu illustrated book and a map of the Kanto region, as well as some necessary wound medicine, antidote, pokeballs and so on are enough for you to go out on adventures. Dr. Oki introduced them one by one. The 3 of them were overjoyed when they heard that so many outdoor necessities were indeed rare for them. It was really flattering that Dr. Ogi gave them to them directly and unconditionally. Suddenly, just as the 3 of them were secretly happy, Dr. Omu asked seriously, "By the way, you all have elves, right? You can't go on adventures in the wild without elves, it's very dangerous." Wang Ming and Xiaoji nodded, but only Wang Mengmeng became nervous. "Doctor, I haven't yet." "Is that so? I happen to have 3 initial elves here, why don't you just pick one?" Dr. Omu thought for a while and said. Wang Mengmeng's eyes suddenly lit up, shining with excitement. Really, she has long wanted to have an elf of her own. Chapter 11. There are 3 initial elves here, namely the fire-type Charmander, the water-type Squirtle, and the grass-type Bulbasaur. Which one do you like? Dr. Oak took out 3 elf balls, released the spirits inside, and introduced them one by one. Wang Mengmeng looked at the 3 cute elves in front of her and was confused for a moment, not knowing which one to choose. These 3 elves look so cute. I don't know which one is more suitable for me. Wang Mengmeng murmured to herself, looking at the 3 elves carefully like a curious baby. Seeing Wang Mengmeng's hesitation, Dr. Omu chuckled and introduced from the side. Considering that you are a girl, my suggestion is that you'd better choose Squirtle, which is also the first choice of most female trainers. Of course, if you prefer fighting, I recommend you choose Charmander. If you prefer to cultivate quickly, then Bulbasaur is your best choice. After listening to Dr. Omu's introduction, Wang Mengmeng had a general understanding of these 3 elves. But she still couldn't make a choice. So, she looked at Wang Ming and wanted to ask Wang Ming for his opinion. Which one do you think I should choose? Wang Ming didn't even think about it, and blurted out without hesitation, Squirtle. The reason why he said this was not just a casual comment, but a careful consideration. First of all, Wang Mengmeng has a weak personality and is not warlike, and Charmander is a very powerful elf. After evolving into a fire-breathing dragon, he has a hot temper and is difficult to control, which is obviously not suitable for Wang Mengmeng. Secondly, Wang Mengmeng has a simple personality, does not have so many tricks, and is not suitable for tactical layout. Bulbasaur is obviously an elf who is very fond of move combinations and requires trainers to use different move combinations to fight on different occasions. Wang Mengmeng obviously does not have this ability. Therefore, looking at it this way, Wang Mengmeng's best choice is Squirtle. Moreover, Squirtle's strength is also very good. Although the attack ability is slightly inferior after the super evolution, the excellent defense ability can better protect the trainer. This is also an extra security guarantee for Wang Mengmeng. Dr. Oak, then I want Squirtle. Since both Dr. Oak and Wang Ming recommended her to choose Squirtle, Wang Mengmeng had nothing to think about. She believed that Dr. Omu's vision was not wrong, and she believed that Wang Ming would not harm her. Ha ha ha, you have chosen a very good partner. Dr. Oak laughed loudly and gave Squirtle to Wang Mengmeng. Thank you, Dr. Oki. Wang Mengmeng held Squirtle in her arms, and the more she looked at it, the more she liked it. Squirtle was also very honest, clinging tightly to Wang Mengmeng's chest, motionless, feeling the softness with a look of enjoyment on his face. It just so happens that there are two left here, why don't you two choose one too? Dr. Omu looked at Wang Ming and Xiaoji with a smile. Although both of them have elves, it would be unfair to give it only to Wang Mengmeng. Really, Dr. Omu? Then I won't be polite. Xiaoji looked happy and picked up the Charmander on the ground without saying a word. As a result, Charmander immediately spurted out a mouthful of flame, burning Xiaoji into coals. Ha 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 ha. Suddenly, everyone couldn't help laughing. Xiaoji, on the other hand, scratched his head in embarrassment and liked this Charmander even more. Then this Bulbasaur is yours. Dr. Omu looked at Wang Ming and said with a smile. Wang Ming shook his head and said, Dr. Damu, can I change to an elf? Bulbasaur is good, but Wang Ming has a better choice. Dr. Omu was startled and asked in surprise, oh. Which elf do you want to change? Wang Ming smiled slightly and pointed his finger directly at Dr. Omu's feet. Lalu Lassie. This is exactly Wang Ming's goal. After all, no trainer can refuse a wifemon, and if so, then two. Moreover, at the moment when everyone was talking, Wang Ming had already checked the basic information of this Lalu Lassie. The qualifications are very good, reaching the super rare orange color, and the level is not bad, with level. It even possesses a very rare genetic skill, synchronized interference. This is a god level, very powerful, comparable to predicting the future. Of course, there are certain flaws, that is, it can only work on Pokemon of the same attribute. And these are not the most important things. The most important thing is that this Lalu Lassie is female. Therefore, Wang Ming wanted to receive this Lalu Lassie into his camp. Ha ha ha, your choice is quite tricky. Dr. Oki laughed. But, this little guy is not so easy to control. Well, if you can let it go with you, then it doesn't matter if I give it to you. Dr. Oki is very generous. And this is exactly what Wang Ming wants to see. It's a word. Wang Ming walked to Lalula's with confidence and tried his best to appear approachable. Follow me, and I will take you to become the most powerful being in the world. Wang Ming took a deep breath and made a promise to Lalula's. However, Lalula's tilted her little head and looked at it, indifferent. Seeing this, Wang Ming said again, follow me, I will take you to see the most beautiful scenery. Lalula's made no move. Come with me, I will buy you the best food and the most beautiful clothes. Lalula's remained indifferent. Follow me, I can complete the evolution as quickly as possible. In the end, Wang Ming even took out magical candies to seduce him, but he still failed. Ha ha ha, young man, don't be discouraged. This little guy won't be taken away so easily. Just try a few more times. Seeing that Wang Ming was dejected and somewhat disinterested, Dr. Omu comforted him. Wang Ming waved his hand and said with some disappointment, no, it won't follow me. This Lalu Lassie was obviously on guard against him. It's no wonder, after all, it was the first time he and Lalula's met, and trying to take Lalula's away with just a few words was tantamount to wishful thinking. What's more, Lalula's may not be able to understand what Wang Ming said. After leaving Dr. Oak's Research Institute, Wang Ming and Xiaoji parted ways. When we meet again in the future, I will challenge you again. These are the last words Xiaoji left before leaving, and it also means that from now on, the two will be both rivals and friends. Where are we going now? Wang Mengmeng followed Wang Ming quietly and asked casually. Wang Ming glanced at the map and said, let's go to Jobin City first. The map shows that Jobin City is just north of Junxin Town, not far from Junxin Town. If the two of them go on foot, they can get there in one day. Just when the two of them had not gone far, the system notification sounded in Wang Ming's mind. Ding! Go to 50 meters and there will be a treasure chest. It's a treasure chest. Great, I can finally open the treasure chest again. Wang Ming seemed to have discovered something treasure, so he ran forward, leaving Wang Mengmeng behind him in a daze. Why is this guy so convulsed? Could it be that he was too sad because he didn't get the Lalu lass, which caused his brain to go crazy? Hey, I really don't understand. Isn't it just a Lalula's? What's there to be sad about? Isn't it enough to have this great beauty by your side? Can't even compare to an elf. Wang Mengmeng muttered a few words to herself and ran over. Haha, it's a legendary treasure chest. It's actually a legendary treasure chest. Wang Ming looked at the treasure chest emitting holy light at his feet and danced excitedly. Since the last time we said goodbye, he hasn't encountered a legendary treasure chest for a long time. Now that it appeared again, his heart beat nervously, and the blood in his body boiled because of it, as if it was about to explode at any time. Calm down, this little scene doesn't scare me. Call. Wang Ming exhaled heavily, then carefully picked up the treasure box and opened it. Suddenly, a long-lost voice sounded in his ears. Ding! Congratulations to the host for obtaining the special ability, the Power of Viridian. Power of Viridian. The ability given by Viridian Forest. People with this ability can communicate spiritually with Pokemon and heal their injuries. Let me go, it turns out to be the power of Changpan. When he saw the reward in the treasure box this time, Wang Ming couldn't help but exclaimed. This time, he actually activated the special ability of Viridian Power. How powerful Changpan's power is can be seen from its introduction. Its typical representatives are Yulongdu and Banmu, and both of them are very amazing existences. With the power of Viridian, I will be able to communicate with Pokemon without any barriers in the future. Thinking of this, Wang Ming couldn't help but smile. This will be very helpful for him in the future whether he is cultivating the relationship with the elves or capturing the elves. Wait a minute, since I already have the power of Changpan, can't I? Wang Ming suddenly thought of something, and a bright light bloomed in his eyes. Without saying a word, Wang Ming turned around and ran away, just passing by Wang Mengmeng who was coming towards him. Hey, why are you going? Wang Mengmeng was confused at the moment, completely confused as to what Wang Ming was doing. Just listen to Wang Ming shouting without looking back, wait for me here, I'm going to Dr. Damu's research institute, something is there. After saying that, Wang Ming's figure was seen getting further and further away until he disappeared. And the other side, Dr. Damu Research Institute. Dr. Oak was playing leisurely with the elves when he heard someone calling his name outside. Dr. Omu, I'm back. Dr. Omu walked out and took a look and found that it was Wang Ming who was sweating. It's Xiao Ming. Didn't you go on an adventure? Why are you back? Dr. Oak asked in confusion. Wang Ming wiped the sweat from his forehead, and without caring about rest, he went straight to the point. I want to try again. 10 minutes later, Wang Ming walked out of Dr. Damu's research institute lonely. Iao Ming, if you really want this Lalula's, why don't you stay with me for a few more days, and after you develop a relationship with this little guy, can't you take it away with you? Dr. Omu thought for a while and came up with this idea for Wang Ming. Wang Ming smiled bitterly and shook his head. Time waits for no one, Dr. Omu. There are only 3 days of game time left for him, and Wang Ming has no time to cultivate a relationship with Lalula's here. In that case, he will waste the most precious opportunity to explore the world. And what he got was just a pretty good Lalula's, which was obviously a huge loss. Although it is true that Wang Ming wants a Lalu lassie, it does not mean that he must have this Lalu lassie. If it really doesn't work, it's not impossible for him to catch one in the wild. After all, there are many Lalulas in the wild, so there is no need to hang them from a tree. Hey, that's fine. Where do you plan to go to practice next? Dr. Omu stopped trying to hold him back and asked casually. Jiwan City, I want to go there first and have a look. Jiwa City, it's really nice there. There is a Viridian forest, which is very suitable for novice trainers to take risks. Dr. Omu muttered a few words to himself. Suddenly, he seemed to think of something. Wait, Dr. Oki hurriedly ran into the research institute and came out after a while holding a letter. If you don't mind, please help me give this letter to Dr. Keiko in Jobin City. She lives in the Jobin Research Institute and is the person in charge there. At this moment, Wang Ming's ears heard the voice of Tiandao. Congratulations on triggering the hidden mission, Dr. Oak's letter. Dr. Oki's letter. Send Dr. Oki's letter to Dr. Keiko. Task reward. Alliance currency 1000, skill learning machine gift pack 1. A task. The reward is quite generous. I happen to be going to Joban City too, so I'll take it. Wang Ming thought briefly and took the letter. Don't worry, Dr. Omu, I will deliver it. In fact, even if there was no such mission, Wang Ming would choose to help Dr. Damu. After all, Dr. Oak also helped him a lot. Thank you then. After leaving Dr. Omu's research institute, Wang Ming went straight to his original place. There was a beautiful girl waiting for her. Not long after Wang Ming left, in Dr. Omu's research institute, Lalula's pulled Dr. Omu's sleeve, seemingly saying goodbye to him for the last time. Little guy, have you thought about it? Are you going to follow that boy? Dr. Omu looked at Lalula's solemnly and asked. Lalula's was silent for a moment, then firmly raised her head and nodded heavily. Well, go ahead. Maybe he can really help you. Come out. When Wang Ming was halfway there, he suddenly turned around and shouted loudly behind him. A pair of sharp eyes were like sharp blades, scanning the grass behind him one by one. Just now, he felt something following him behind him. Although this feeling was very vague, he was still keenly aware of it. Whoa! Under Wang Ming's cold gaze, the grass behind him actually started to move and began to shake violently. Wang Ming's heart suddenly became solemn, and his right hand involuntarily touched the elf ball at his waist. Whoa! Suddenly, the grass shook violently. When Wang Ming was about to release his elf, a small and cute elf walked out of the grass. Laloras! Wang Ming was stunned, and instantly stayed on the spot, stopping what he was doing. In front of him, he saw Larula's carrying a small wooden stick on his shoulder, with a delicate package tied to the end of the stick, looking at him with weak and helpless eyes. Wang Ming's heart was instantly melted by this little guy. He never expected that Lalula's, who had refused to leave with him before, would now come to the door. You want to come with me? Wang Ming took 2 steps forward, and after making sure that Lalula's had no intention of escaping, he asked tentatively. Lalula nodded slightly, showing that she understood what Wang Ming meant. Wang Ming couldn't help but breathe a sigh of relief, and at the same time, a satisfied smile appeared on his face. Lalula's, after all, did not escape his grasp. Haha, welcome to join my team. Wang Ming smiled heartily, stretched out his hand to pick up Lalula, and put it on his shoulders. Lalula's was not used to it at first, but soon got used to this position. It sat leisurely on Wang Ming's shoulder, swinging its 2 short white legs wantonly, and held a large package tightly in its arms, and it was unknown what was contained in it. Wang Ming felt curious and asked, Little guy, what's in your package? Seeing Wang Ming turn his attention to the package in his hand, Lalula quickly covered his package as if to guard against Wang Ming's thieves. Wang Ming was also amused by this scene. It wasn't until she was sure that Wang Ming wouldn't rob it that Lalula's proudly opened its package. Wang Ming also looked over curiously, his face suddenly became strange, and the corners of his mouth couldn't help but twitch a few times. Or really a snack. It turned out that this big package was filled with strawberry-flavored energy cubes. It is estimated that this was specially prepared by Dr. Omu for Lalula. But what I have to say is that the energy cube tastes so good that Wang Ming can't help but want to take a bite. Little one, feed me one. Lalu, no. On a. Lalu, then there can only be one. Ha ha ha. You actually conquered Lalula. Wang Mengmeng said in surprise when she saw Lalula sitting on Wang Ming's shoulder when he came back. Wang Ming looked proud. Of course, we are very good at charm. Little Lalula's, you have to follow me obediently. Lalu, you lied. However, Wang Mengmeng naturally didn't understand what Lalula's was talking about. TCH, how charming can you be, a big bad guy? Wang Mengmeng obviously didn't believe Wang Ming's lies either. You still follow me if you don't have any charm. I was. Wang Mengmeng suddenly realized a problem. Yes, why should I follow him? Come on, we have to hurry. By the time Wang Mengmeng reacted, Wang Ming had already walked far away. I love you but dare not say it. Your innocence is the best way to hide it. The melodious singing sounded from afar, but it disturbed the girl's heart. Asshole, I don't like you. Wang Mengmeng gritted her teeth angrily, but followed her footsteps involuntarily. Jobin City. Team Rocket Subdivision. A group of teenagers gathered here and talked a lot. I heard that Team Rocket is recruiting new members. They will get a good salary every month and will allocate an elf to each person. Do you think this is true or not? Who knows, but since you've come here, you have to give it a try, right? I don't want to work for those poor residents anymore. They are stingier than an old hen. I worked for them for 5 hours and even dug out a cesspit. But guess what? They just gave me I have 20 alliance coins, fool. It's only 20 alliance coins for him to give away to a beggar. Not even the capitalists are so evil. What are you talking about? I was chatting with the woman next to me, and we agreed on 50 alliance coins for an hour. In the end, not only did I not get a penny, but I was also chased down 3 streets by a group of strong men with knives. Then you were really miserable. Although I also work in those residences' homes, the salary is still good. I only get 20 union coins an hour. Wow, that's really good. Then why do you suddenly want to join Team Rocket? Hey, don't mention it. Originally, my job was to milk the big milk tank, but I accidentally got too excited. Oh no, I squeezed it too hard, and the big milk tank was deformed. As a result, I was kicked out. Quote. But then again, do any of you know what Team Rocket does? I really don't know this. Do you have some inside information? Of course, this is my exclusive secret. In fact, Team Rocket is a super large charity organization. Hiss, is it so powerful? But why do I feel something is wrong? Are you sure your news is correct? I guarantee my brother's life. I regard you as my brother, but you want my life. No, don't I emphasize the authenticity of this sentence. No matter what, as long as we join Team Rocket, we will definitely not lose money. Yes, as long as we join Team Rocket, our good days will come. At this moment, countless lost teenagers have embarked on the path of villains due to impulse. And the other side, Wang Ming and Wang Mengmeng, on the other hand, traveled day and night, rushing towards Takiwa City without daring to stop for a moment. Because it's getting dark, and spending the night in the wild is a very dangerous thing. Wang Ming, how long do we have until we get to Jobin City? In the night, the pale moonlight fell on the trees, making the surrounding environment even more eerie and lonely. Wang Mengmeng quickly trotted closer to Wang Ming, and her jade hands subconsciously tightened the corners of Wang Ming's clothes, not daring to stay too far away from him. Because they were so close, the faint fragrance of Wang Mengmeng's virginity soon drifted into Wang Ming's nostrils. Suddenly, Wang Ming felt as if he was wandering in a sea of flowers, wrapped in the fragrance. Such a wonderful smell made Wang Ming so intoxicated that the blood in his body began to boil. Fortunately, he quickly suppressed the restlessness in his body, so it didn't cause a big disaster. Let's rest here today. We are still some distance away from Jobin City. We will definitely not be able to make it today. Wang Ming made a rough estimate and stopped. After hearing this, Wang Mengmeng sat down on the ground, not caring about her ladylike image. She had been walking all the way today, but she was exhausted. I'm going to find some firewood. You sit here first and don't run around. If a blind bear takes it away, I won't save you. Wang Ming gave an instruction and then disappeared into the darkness. TCH, I'm not as miserable as you say. Wang Mengmeng cursed angrily. However, when Wang Ming really left, she realized how terrifying the wild forest shrouded in darkness was. On the other side, Wang Ming quickly collected a lot of dry firewood. Just when he was about to go back, Cheomeng, who had been resting in the poke ball, came out on his own. What happened? Wang Ming was puzzled by the appearance of Cheomeng. Normally, Mewtwo would never come out alone. Unless something happens that interests it, or it feels dangerous. I feel the same kind of presence. Cheomeng's eyes glowed with a cold light, and he slowly spoke. A breath of the same kind. Are there other Mewtwo's in this world? Team Rocket's experiment was successful. The first thing Wang Ming thought of was the origin of Mewtwo. That is, the first Mewtwo born in the world. But he thought it was unlikely. If that were the case, then the world might not be peaceful. If it's not Mewtwo, then it could only be that little guy. Wang Ming's expression became weird, and the more he thought about it, the more likely it seemed. After all, That elf is known as the Grandmaster of Geology, and it can appear anywhere. It is the so-called oldest Pokemon and the original body of Mewtwo, Mew. Isn't it really a dream? While Wang Ming was thinking, Cheomeng had already drifted towards a place. After Wang Ming reacted, he followed closely. Soon, a man and a beast came to a dilapidated ruins. The traces of battle here are very obvious. It seems that a war must have broken out before. Judging from the degree of destruction, both sides of the battle are very powerful. At least they are at the level of quasi-kings. Wang Ming looked around and conducted a simple analysis. The conclusion reached is shocking. At this moment, Cheomeng also spoke. No, maybe it's not the same kind. Its breath is very unique. Although it has many similarities with me, there are also obvious differences. As soon as these words came out, Wang Ming became more confident in his guess. It seems that Mew may have really been here and had a big fight with others. Could it be someone from Team Rocket? Or is there someone else? Wang Ming groped his chin, his eyes flickering, and he fell into deep thought. What? Suddenly, a scream rang out in the silent forest. No, something happened to Wang Mengmeng. This voice was very familiar, and Wang Ming immediately realized that it was Wang Mengmeng's voice. Regardless of checking the situation here, Wang Ming took Cheomeng and ran back. And at the same time, the other side, Wang Mengmeng looked at the trio in front of her and backed away nervously. And her elf Squirtle stood in front of her, determined to protect her to the death. Who are you and what do you want to do? The trio looked at each other with a sneer on their lips. Since you ask the question sincerely, we will tell you mercifully. To prevent the world from being destroyed, to protect the peace of the world. Evil with love and truth, lovable and charming villains. Musashi, Kojira, we are Team Rocket traveling through the galaxy, the white hole, the white tomorrow is waiting for us. Meow, that's it. Quote question mark question mark question mark quote. Listening to this awkward line, Wang Mengmeng was stunned on the spot. What's the situation? Where did this weird thing come from? But the rocket trio didn't pay any attention to Wang Mengmeng's gaze, but said arrogantly, Little devil, hand over Squirtle, and we will let you go. Obviously, their target is Wang Mengmeng's Squirtle. Wang Mengmeng looked at Squirtle, who was protecting her in front of her, and a hint of anger gradually appeared on her face. She gritted her teeth and said, Impossible, it is my partner, and none of you can even think of taking it away. At this moment, Wang Mengmeng thought of what Wang Ming said before. Some people regard elves as fighting tools, and some people regard elves as close partners. Now, looking at Squirtle standing in front of her without hesitation, she has decided what kind of person she wants to be. Haha, if you don't eat the toast, you will be punished with a drink. In this case, don't blame us for being rude. Come out, Arbor, crack, come out, gas bomb. Gas. In an instant, Musashi and Kojira released their spirits. Even Meow Meow stretched out his sharp claws and stared at Wang Mengmeng eagerly from the side. At this moment, Wang Mengmeng felt an unprecedented crisis. But she knew she couldn't back down this time. Only fighting can make her grow. At this time, Wang Ming, who rushed over in a hurry, saw this scene and invariably chose to hide in the darkness and did not come forward. He felt that this time might be a good opportunity to experience Wang Mengmeng. Only those who have experienced the baptism of wind and rain can be regarded as a qualified trainer. But if Wang Mengmeng is in danger, he will step forward without hesitation. Abersnake, use the poisonous needle. Gas bombs, use cloudy fog. The battle is imminent. The Rockets trio took the lead in attacking. Facing the enemy's menacing attack, Wang Mengmeng was extremely nervous and did not dare to be careless in the slightest. This was her first actual combat, but she had to try her best. Squirtle, use water gun. Wang Mengmeng has never been exposed to Pokemon before and is not very familiar with the Pokemon's moves. Therefore, even in the current battle, she needs to rely on the Rotom Pokédex to launch an attack. PFF'd. A not-so-thick water column sprayed out from Squirtle's mouth, drawing a straight line in the air, and collided with the poisonous needle in Snake's mouth. The tiny poisonous needles were shattered by the powerful impact of the water flow, and fell to the ground like rain, making a snapping sound. But there were too many poisonous needles, covering Squirtle densely. Even though it was partially dispersed by the water gun, a large number of poisonous needles were still shot towards Squirtle. Danger ensues. The purple-black mist emitted by the gas bomb also drifted towards Squirtle in the clear breeze. There is a wolf in front of him and a tiger behind him. Under attack from both sides, Squirtle is in danger. Haha, little sister, let's just fight it off. Stop resisting in vain, we are going to settle this Squirtle. Kojiro and Musashi laughed loudly, as if they saw the dawn of victory. Even Meow Meow was dancing excitedly, and the beard on his face was raised slightly because of the excitement. What should I do? Wang Mengmeng was sweating profusely, and her hands clenched their fists involuntarily, glowing with blood. This was her first time fighting, and now she encountered such a life-and-death situation. She was momentarily panicked and didn't know what to do. Anxiously, Wang Mengmeng looked down at the Rotom illustrated book in her hand again, hoping to find a move to solve the situation in front of her. Hey, I can use this move. Suddenly, Wang Mengmeng's eyes lit up and she saw a very good move. Retract into the shell. So, she couldn't wait to give the order without thinking. Squirtle, use hide in shell. Jenny. Squirtle received the master's order and immediately retracted its limbs and head into its shell. At this time, the poisonous needle had also arrived. Ping pong pong. The tiny poisonous needles hit Squirtle's shell like a dense rain. Although it was very powerful, it was unable to penetrate Squirtle's defense. Haha, it works. When Wang Mengmeng saw this, she jumped up happily. Because this is the first time that the crisis has been resolved through one's own efforts. However, before she could be happy, her face darkened again. The clouds of gas bombs drifted over. Although Squirtle's turtle shell can defend against the poisonous sting of the arbor snake, it cannot resist the turbid mist that Wukong cannot penetrate. In particular, there is a poison hidden in this turbid mist. Once it is contaminated, you will fall into a state of poisoning. Do not want. At this moment, Wang Mengmeng fell into despair. This time, she really had no choice. When people fall into despair, the first thing they think of is often the most trustworthy person in their hearts. At this time, such a figure appeared in Wang Mengmeng's mind. He is very handsome, but he is naughty and naughty. Sometimes he likes to tease her, which makes people hate him. But it was such a person who became her only support in this world. This person is Wang Ming. At this time, Wang Ming, who was hiding in the darkness, also knew that the time had come for him to appear. So, he stopped hiding and walked out with Cheomeng. Team Rocket, stop. As soon as Wang Ming came up, he first used a mysterious guard to bless Cheomeng, allowing Cheomeng to rescue Squirtle from the fog. Then, he walked to Wang Mengmeng's side and said softly, "Are you okay?" When Wang Mengmeng saw the person in her mind appear, she was stunned for a moment and then hugged Wang Ming. Tears fell like rain, like the ocean bursting its banks, and she couldn't stop no matter what. Feeling the softness coming from his chest, Wang Ming had no time to enjoy it. Instead, he patted Wang Mengmeng's shoulder and comforted him before turning his attention to the Rockets trio. "I didn't expect to meet you here. Mewtwo, deal with them," Wang Ming said coldly. Although he is very familiar with the Rockets trio, those who offend him will naturally have to pay the price. Haha, the little devil is not old, and his tone is not bad. Our Rockets are not that easy to deal with. Musashi sneered, but as soon as she finished speaking, Abo Snake turned into a ray of light and flew out, hitting a big tree in the distance. "If you dare to bully our Rockets, use the gas bomb to show it how powerful it is." Seeing that Musashi's elf was beaten, a hint of anger appeared on Kojira's face, and he gave the order to attack the gas bomb. Gas. The gas bomb immediately sprayed out a puff of mist, turned into a solid venomous snake, and roared towards Mewtwo. But Cheomeng was dismissive of this and didn't even bother to look at it. It seemed that just one glance was a blasphemy against his strength. He slowly raised his right hand and gently grasped it with 3 fingers. The poisonous snake was instantly restrained, and the next moment it burst into nothingness. Exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark. Such a shocking scene scared the Rockets trio to the spot. "This guy is so strong," Kojira muttered to himself, already frightened. "Kojira, what should we do?" Musashi was so frightened that he looked at Kojira with dull eyes. "Why are you two idiots panicking? The stronger this elf is, doesn't it mean the greater its value? As long as we capture him and hand him over to the boss, we will definitely get a reward." Meow Meow was content and unafraid, with a greedy look in his eyes. But, we have no more elves to fight, so how can we capture him? Kojiro and Musashi both looked at Meowth with puzzled expressions. Haha, don't forget, I am also an elf. A cruel smile appeared on the corner of Meow Meow's mouth, revealing its sharp claws that had been treasured for many years. Musashi and Kojiro's eyes lit up. Yes, how come they forgot about this? Meow Meow, it is also an elf. Meow. The next moment, Meowth let out a sharp cry and rushed out waving its sharp claws. Snapped. Allow. Quick. Ring. Before Musashi and Kojiro could cheer for Meowth, Mewtwo opened his mouth and whipped Meowth away. At this moment, Musashi and Kojiro were completely dumbfounded. How about a good fight? The result is this. Just one big mouth and it's all over. Do you want to be so perfunctory? We will be back. Suddenly, Kojiro seemed to have an enlightenment, howled miserably and ran away. But before he could run very far, Cheomung was restrained back by telekinesis. At this time, Wang Ming walked over with a smile, looking harmless, and began to move his hands up and down the two people's bodies. It wasn't until he found 500 alliance coins and a bunch of elf balls and elf potions on the two of them that he finally looked at the two of them again. Answer me a question and I'll let you live. Wang Ming narrowed his eyes, and his body exuded a vague coldness that made Musashi and Kojiro shudder. No problem, as long as you let us go, we can do whatever we want. Kojiro and Musashi were also frightened by Wang Ming's aura, and kept nodding. Wang Ming was very satisfied with the effect, so he asked, have your rockets been here before and fought with an elf? Musashi and Kojiro were stunned when they heard this question. They couldn't help but look at each other and both shook their heads. I don't know, but I heard that the higher-ups are hunting down a very powerful elf recently, and they have sent out many experts. We just don't know what the specific situation is. After all, this kind of thing is beyond our reach. Kojiro seemed to have thought of something and spoke. Wang Ming's eyes flickered, thinking about Kojiro's words. He wasn't worried that Kojiro was lying. With Kojiro's IQ, he really wouldn't have that much trouble in his stomach. He was thinking about the purpose of Team Rocket's action this time. Is it for genetic research? Or, for a long while, Wang Ming did not come to a definite conclusion. After all, he had too little information. Xiaoming, I leave them to you. Since he couldn't think of it, Wang Ming stopped thinking about it and looked at Wang Mengmeng and said. Injustice has its head, and debt has its owner. Although he didn't want to do anything to the Rockets trio. After all, these three guys are not inherently bad, they just have a low pursuit of ideals. But after all, Wang Mengmeng was also hurt, and she still had to receive the punishment she deserved. Hey, little Guido, if you don't respect martial ethics, why did you agree to let us go? Seeing Wang Mengmeng walking towards them with an angry look on their face, Musashi and Kojiro suddenly lost their composure. They feel that their hearts have been deceived. I said I would let you go, but I never said she would let you go. Wang Ming laughed teasingly, making the Rocket trio very angry. At this time, Wang Mengmeng had also walked to their side. Little sister, if you have something to say, a lady like you must be very kind-hearted. Otherwise, let us go. Ah, don't do it, don't slap me in the face. No, Amand. The night is as cool as water, and I fall asleep with songs. When the first ray of sunlight in the morning shone on the leaves, Wang Ming and the others were already on their way. Those who get up early will have good luck. Wang Ming smiled slightly and picked up the treasure box on the ground. Early in the morning, he came across a diamond treasure chest, and it was hard not to feel good about it. Ding! Congratulations to the host for obtaining the curved spoon and magical candy 10. It seems that the reward this time is quite generous. When Wang Ming saw a diamond treasure chest, he already realized that the reward this time was not simple. What he didn't expect was that the reward this time would be carrying props. Bent spoon. A spoon infused with telekinesis that bends because it contains powerful telekinesis. After being carried, the power of moves with superpower attributes will be increased by 20%. The curved spoon. This is simply a sacred object of superpower elves. Wang Ming couldn't help but sigh. Although the value of 20.00% is not high, if you put it into practice in combat, you will know how terrifying it is. Often it is because of this 20.00% gap that the situation in the battle is completely reversed. Especially for elves with stronger superpowers, the effect of the curved spoon is more obvious. Now, Wang Ming happens to have an elf that is a perfect match for the curved spoon. It seems that this is a prop tailor-made for Cheomeng. Wang Ming smiled lightly and put the curved spoon on Cheomeng. With the blessing of the curved spoon, Mewtwo's attack power will be greatly improved. Even when facing high-level opponents, it is possible to achieve an instant kill with one hit. Cheomeng, on the other hand, seemed to be very interested in this curved spoon, and he studied it intently. It seems that it wants to inject its own energy into this spoon. But Wang Ming did not notice this. There are 10 magical candies left, plus the 3 I got from the previous mission, which is enough for my elves to improve a lot. With Wang Ming thinking this way, he released Lalu Lassie first. This little guy should evolve too. Only the evolved Lalulas has the ability to fight. Before this, Lalula's strength was really hard to describe. Therefore, Wang Ming still wants to evolve Lalu Lassie into Gardevoir as soon as possible. System: how many magical candies are needed to evolve Lalulas into Cerulean? It is currently unrealistic to use 13 magical candies to make Lalurus evolve into Gardevoir. Therefore, Wang Ming planned to evolve Lalulas into Cerulean first. Wait until there is an opportunity in the future, and then slowly increase Cerulean's level. 4. It is good. Wang Ming took out 4 magical candies and coaxed Lalulas to swallow them all like a child. As for him, he was quietly waiting for Lalula's change. Meanwhile, on the other side, a player with a wretched appearance and short stature is commanding the green caterpillars to fight. Well done, green caterpillar. Seeing the green caterpillar defeat its opponent, the wretched boy couldn't help but praise. Ha ha ha, this is already the 8th battle. Although it took me a lot of time, the rewards are also very rich. The wretched boy looked at his green caterpillar with a satisfied smile on his face. Since coming to play games, he quickly found a stable job and started working day and night. It was not until last night that he saved enough alliance coins to buy a Pokeball. After getting the elf ball, he couldn't wait to go to the wild and catch this green caterpillar. After a night of fighting, the level of his green caterpillar was also constantly improving. Now, there were signs of evolution. The light of evolution is the light of evolution. Haha, my green caterpillar is finally going to evolve. I will be the first player in this game to let the elf evolve. Oh heaven, please declare my glory to the world. My young man from the kingdom of the sun is the master of this world. The wretched boy laughed loudly. And Tiandao seemed to have responded to his call, and actually started announcing to all members. Congratulations to player number 6 for being the first to complete the evolution of the elf and receiving the initial reward of a Junior Random Prop Gift Pack 1. Congratulations to player number 6 for being the first to complete the evolution of the elf and receiving the initial reward of a Junior Random Prop Gift Pack 1. Congratulations to player number 6 for being the first to complete the evolution of the elf and receiving the initial reward of a Junior Random Prop Gift Pack 1. Ha ha ha, little hot chicks, did you hear that? Come and greet your king, I am. Huh, wait, something doesn't seem right. Player number 6. Hey, Tiandao, are you mistaken? I am not player 6, I am 38, I am 38. The wretched boy gradually realized a serious problem. After working on it for a long time, the clown was actually himself. Ah, player 6, it's you again. I, Okamoto Super Slim, are at odds with you. And far on the other side, Wang Ming and Wang Mengmeng also heard Tiandao's broadcast. Ah, this can also win first place. Are all the first batch of new players so cool? Or am I too strong? It shouldn't be. Although we are the children of destiny, we are only so powerful that we are not to this extent, right? After some serious thinking, Wang Ming came to a conclusion. All of you here are spicy chickens. However, what he didn't notice was that Wang Mengmeng's face at the side had turned black to coal, and a pair of beautiful eyes stared at Wang Ming resentfully, full of anger. Although Wang Ming's words were not intended to be directed at her, hearing them made her teeth itch with hatred and made her want to go up and beat Wang Ming violently. It wasn't until Wang Ming turned around that he noticed Wang Mengmeng's strangeness. Why is your face as dark as a briquette? Go away, I don't want to talk to you. Oh, that's just right. You need to be quiet for a while, and I'll open a gift bag first. Quote. Wang Ming happily took out the gift bag of elementary random props awarded to him by Tiandao. I don't know what this thing can do. Wang Ming opened the gift bag with curiosity. Suddenly, a golden light burst out. Congratulations on getting the metal film for carrying props 1. Holy shit, it's actually a metal film. Wang Ming looked so happy that his eyebrows almost flew out of his forehead. Although the metal film is only a primary carrying item, it is very important to Wang Ming. Because the metal film can not only be used as a carrying prop to enhance the fighting ability of the elves. Moreover, it can also be used as a special medium to help certain elves evolve. And the flying mantis is one of them. It just so happened that Wang Ming had a flying mantis. In other words, with this metal film, he can let the flying mantis evolve into the giant pincer mantis. Although the evolved giant pincer mantis has no change in racial value, the distribution of various abilities has become more reasonable. Because of this, the combat effectiveness of the giant pincer mantis has been greatly improved compared to the flying mantis. Come on, flying mantis, this is for you. Wang Ming released the flying mantis, and then put the metal film on its body. Almost at the same time, he received a reminder from Tiandao. It has been detected that your flying mantis can communicate and evolve. Do you want to communicate now? Friendly reminder. Since you are a novice player, Tiandao will match you with a suitable communication partner for free. And this special treatment, then it must be free of charge. Matching for you. Matching successful. Communication evolution is in progress. Congratulations, your flying mantis has successfully evolved into a giant pincer mantis. Almost instantly, a fiery red elf appeared in front of Wang Ming's eyes. And it is none other than the giant pincer mantis. Congratulations to player number 6 for evolving 2 elves for the first time and earning the title of Evolution Messenger. Congratulations to player number 6 for evolving 2 elves for the first time and earning the title of Evolution Messenger. Congratulations to player number 6 for evolving 2 elves for the first time and earning the title of Evolution Messenger. Immediately afterwards, Tiandao once again issued an announcement to all members. Players from all over the world also sent cordial greetings. Are you going to let me live? I don't feel comfortable even if I'm a prostitute. Baguio Road, player number 6 is dead. After digging into the new machine, I can tell you that this guy definitely has a PY deal with the game administrator. Thank you for the invitation. I'm at the cow farm. I've just finished milking. Please help me, sir. I can take on your shape. Wang Ming naturally couldn't hear other people's slander. At this time, he was working on the new title, Evolution Envoy. After wearing it, your elf has a certain probability of evolving in advance. This is good. Wang Ming's face lit up with joy. Being able to make elves evolve in advance is definitely a very incredible ability. Especially for elves that evolve very late, like most quasi-gods, they usually complete their final evolution around level. The growth period is very long, so it is also very difficult to cultivate. But if they can be allowed to evolve in advance, it will definitely greatly reduce the time required for training, and the trainer's early abilities will also be improved. It's just a pity that it's a probabilistic event and can only rely on luck. Wang Ming sighed, which also made him a little dissatisfied. But luck still made him eager to try, and he couldn't wait to take the title. Suddenly, 4 big characters appeared above his head. Messenger of Evolution. It's not bad, but the light is a bit green. Fortunately, Wang Ming can hide this title at any time. Unless he wants to, others cannot see it, which indirectly relieves his embarrassment. Well, just in time to try the effect. Wang Ming grinned and began to distribute the remaining magical candies. Let's give it to the giant pincer mantis first. As Wang Ming's trump card, Cheomeng's strength is already quite high. As for the giant pincer mantis, Wang Ming's main combat force, the level is still a bit stretched. Therefore, Wang Ming decided to give giant pincer mantis a big improvement this time. Gudong. The giant mantis swallowed the magical candy in one gulp, and a pure energy began to surge through its body. And its level also climbed rapidly like a rocket, finally stopping at a terrifying level. Elf. Giant pincer mantis. Gender. Male. Qualification. Purple. Level. 30. Attribute. Insect plus steel. Characteristics. Technical Master. When attacking, the power of low power moves can be increased. Hidden characteristic. Light metal. Its own weight will be halved. Item to carry. Metal film. A special metal film. After carrying it, the power of steel type moves will increase by 20%. Skills. Lightning Flash, Feint Attack, Bullet Punch to be confirmed, Energy Gathering, Chasing, Hitting the Target, High-Speed Movement, Metal Claws to be confirmed, Continuous Slashing to be confirmed, Splitting to be confirmed, Whirlwind Knife to be confirmed. I didn't expect that this evolution would actually allow the giant pincer mantis to awaken its hidden characteristics. Wang Ming was also very surprised that the giant pincer mantis had awakened its light metal properties. After all, before this, the flying mantis had no hidden characteristics. The light metal properties are very useful for the giant pincer mantis. Not only can it reduce its own burden and thereby increase its speed, it can also provide good resistance to certain weight-related moves. And the skills have also changed. It seems that the skills will be abandoned again. Wang Ming smiled bitterly and began to make a decision. There is actually no need to retain moves like Lightning Flash. We only need to keep the more powerful moves of the same type. In the end, after some thinking, Wang Ming chose to retain the skills of high-speed movement, chasing, hitting, metal claws, continuous slashing, splitting and whirlwind knife as the giant pincer mantis. Then, he looked at Cerulean again. The evolved Cerulean also needs to make skill choices. Spirit, Cerulean. Gender, female. Qualification, orange. Level, 20. Attribute, superpower plus fairy. Characteristics. Copy. When entering the field, copy the opponent's characteristics and become the same characteristics. Hidden characteristic. Telepathy. Read our attacks and dodge the damage of their moves. Carrying items. None. Skills. Telekinesis, charming voice, teleportation, shadow clone, magic leaf, absorbing kiss, meditation, mental power. After doing all this, Wang Ming collected his elves. Except for Cerulean, of course. After all, the relationship with Wifemon still needs to be cultivated from an early age. You got all those magical candies from doing missions. Wang Mengmeng also saw how extraordinary those magical candies were just now. Her two big jewel-like Kazilan eyes shone with the light of stars. Of course, otherwise I can conjure it out of thin air. Then can you teach me how to get the mission? Okay, but how are you going to repay me? Will you pledge yourself to me? Although you usually talk in a conceited way, you are really confident. If you agree, I can reluctantly consider it. Quote. Quote. Go away. If I say a word to you again, I will take your last name. The sun shines upon your head. Jobin City. After a half-day journey, the two finally arrived in this bustling city. On the road, Wang Ming also gained a lot. Although no rare treasure chests were discovered, a lot of black iron and bronze-grade treasure chests were picked up, and a lot of alliance coins, elf balls, magic candies and other things were found. With the help of these magical candies, Cerulean's level was successfully raised to level 25. I believe it won't be long before he can evolve into Gardevoir. Not only that, Wang Ming's wealth has also accumulated a lot, reaching more than 5 alliance coins, and he can be considered a small rich man. The institute is right in the city center, let's go there. Wang Ming glanced at the map in his hand and said. Wang Mengmeng seemed to have discovered something interesting on the map. She pointed at one of the buildings and said, "Where is this Viridian City Gym?" I have seen many cities with this kind of sign. Although Wang Mengmeng has a certain understanding of the world, this is her first contact with the gym. Wang Ming explained while walking at this time. The gym is a place to test the strength of trainers. Every trainer can go to the gym to challenge after reaching a certain level of strength. After winning, you can get the gym badge. And gym badges are a kind of proof of strength. Even many large-scale trainer competitions require a certain number of gym badges to participate. Oh, I see. Then why don't we challenge the gym? Since the last battle, Wang Mengmeng has gradually fallen in love with the pleasure brought by this kind of battle. Wang Ming was startled and looked back at Wang Mengmeng suspiciously. But the eyes were very unfriendly and full of ridicule. Forget it, the ignorant are fearless. Wang Ming said something to himself. Wang Mengmeng was very puzzled and a little angry at the same time, so she asked, "What, is the gym here very strong? Can't you win with your strength?" Wang Ming sneered and laughed at himself. don't think too highly of me. I don't have the strength to compete with the guy in the gym now. Wang Mengmeng didn't know the situation, but Wang Ming knew it clearly. The guy in the gym in Jobin City is the boss of Team Rocket, Itaki. In terms of strength, it is the top existence in the entire Pokemon world. As for Wang Ming's strength, now and then, it was not enough to defeat him with just one hand. But then again, Wang Ming felt that he would have to meet Banmu sooner or later. But by then, he was no longer so weak. Who wins and who loses is still unclear. Stop, don't run. Suddenly, just as the two were about to arrive at the research institute, a person suddenly rushed towards them. The man had a gentle appearance and wore a pair of gold-rimmed glasses, but he looked very embarrassed at the moment. The bespectacled man was seen wearing the uniform of the institute. One hand was tightly pressed against his chest, holding a stack of documents, and the other hand was constantly pushing away pedestrians blocking the way. Behind the man, a policewoman with a hot figure was chasing after him. What's the situation? Before Wang Ming could realize what was going on, he heard the voice of Heavenly Dao suddenly ringing in his ears. Congratulations on triggering the hidden mission. Task content: stop the thief and successfully recover the stolen items. Task reward: Elf Gift Bag 1. Elf Gift Pack. After opening it, you can get an elf at random. Elf Gift Bag. This is great. Wang Ming's face brightened. In just an instant, he stood up without hesitation. It doesn't matter whether he is rewarded or not, the main thing is that he likes to help others. In broad daylight, with everything clear, you actually steal openly, how can you think of it? Wang Ming immediately took a step and blocked the path of the man with glasses. At the same time, his right hand involuntarily touched his waist, trying to release his spirit. Giant Pincer Mantis, stop him, don't let him leave here. Wang Ming suddenly shouted loudly. In an instant, a red light shot out from the elf ball. The giant Pincer Mantis, like an unparalleled warrior, fell from the sky and blocked the man with glasses. Forehead. This sudden scene made the man with glasses stunned for a moment. When he reacted, he realized that a handsome young man was trying to stop him. Boy, if you don't want to die, get out of here. The man with glasses looked ferocious and threatened Wang Ming coldly. If it were placed elsewhere, he would definitely teach Wang Ming a lesson without hesitation. It's just that the situation is urgent now and there are pursuers behind him. He doesn't have time to waste time with Wang Ming here. Faced with the threat from the man in glasses, Wang Ming just sneered and remained unmoved. As a good socialist young man in the new era, how can he be afraid of the threat of enemies? Giant Claw Mantis, use metal claws. Seeing that the man with glasses still had no intention of stopping, Wang Ming spoke without hesitation and ordered the giant Pincer Mantis to attack. Husa. The giant Pincer Mantis vibrated its wings and instantly turned into a red light and disappeared from the place. The characteristics of the light metal greatly increased its speed, and in just the blink of an eye, it appeared in front of the man with the eyes. Call. The giant Pincer Mantis raised its huge pincers high and swung it down with all its strength, bringing up a gust of wind that hit the bespectacled man on the face, as if 10,000 blades were cutting into his face. The bespectacled man's expression changed drastically. He did not expect that Wang Ming was not afraid of his threat at all and decisively chose to take action. In the critical situation, the man with glasses had to rely on instinct to dodge aside. But how could he match the speed of the giant Pincer Mantis? Although he had reacted as quickly as possible, the giant pincer containing huge power still hit him impartially. Cough. The bespectacled man felt a sharp pain in his chest, as if a sledgehammer had hit his chest hard, shattering all his bones. The severe pain made the eyes man's nerves tense to the extreme, and an angry flame began to burn violently in his chest, and the next moment it spewed out like a volcano. You wanna die. The face of the man with glasses was extremely distorted, and his cold eyes stared at Wang Ming, like a poisonous snake, which made people feel scared. Dark Crow, kill it for me. A cold voice came out of the bespectacled man's mouth, and an elf covered in pitch black, as if dyed with ink, appeared next to the bespectacled man. The elf looked very scary, with feathers on its head that looked like a wizard's hat, like a messenger from hell, and a pair of eyes as red as a sea of blood, exuding endless evil energy, as if it could suck in the soul of a person. Turn into nourishment. It's a dark Pokemon, Murkrow. When Wang Ming saw this elf, he couldn't help but be surprised. At the same time, his expression also became extremely solemn. Zhang Mengmeng, who was on the side, also turned pale at this moment, and was shocked by the aura emanating from Dark Crow. But the curiosity in her heart still led her to take out the Rotom illustrated book. Dark Crow, a dark Pokemon, is said to bring misfortune and was once feared by the world. Use the Dark Stone to evolve into a crow. A Pokemon that humans fear. After hearing the introduction to the Rotom illustrated book, Wang Mengmeng had a bad premonition in her heart. She couldn't help but look at Wang Ming, feeling a little worried for Wang Ming. At this time, Wang Ming was also looking at the Dark Crow. Lines of information about the Dark Crow were also presented before his eyes. Elf. Dark Crow. Gender. Male. Qualification. Blue. Level. Level 40. Attribute. Evil plus flying. Characteristics. Sleepless because it has a constitution that cannot sleep, it will not fall into sleep state. Hidden characteristic. Heart of Mischief can be the first to use changing moves. Carried items. Leftovers can restore 1/16 of one's maximum health each round. Skills. Wing Attack, Black Mist, Song of Death, Malicious Pursuit, Surprise Blow, Fright. The qualification is only blue, but it has awakened hidden characteristics. This Dark Crow is extraordinary. Wang Ming squinted his eyes and muttered to himself. Generally speaking, hidden characteristics are difficult to awaken. Even elves with purple qualifications or even above purple would find it difficult to awaken their hidden talents. Not to mention the elves with qualifications below purple. Wang Ming did not expect that he would now see an elf with blue qualifications but hidden characteristics. What surprised him even more was that this Dark Crow actually learned the Song of Destruction. The Song of Death is a very terrifying skill. Pokemon that listen to the Song of Death will fall into a state of near death after 3 rounds. This made Wang Ming feel very troubled and wanted a quick solution. Otherwise, it will be troublesome when the other party uses the Song of Destruction. Boy, pay for your stupidity. Just as Wang Ming frowned, the man with glasses suddenly laughed cruelly. Dark Crow, finish him off. Yummy. The Dark Crow let out a hoarse scream, and the next moment it suddenly extended its wings, opened its sharp beak, and flew towards Wang Ming. Husa. At this time, the giant pincer mantis also moved. Sensing that Wang Ming was in danger, giant pincer mantis abandoned the glasses man and fought with Dark Crow. Yummy. Husa. The Dark Crow's wings were dyed with a layer of bright white light and turned into a sharp sword, slashing at the giant pincer mantis. Not to be outdone, the giant pincer mantis used its giant pincers as weapons and violently collided with the Dark Crow. But the gap between the two sides was still very obvious. The giant pincer mantis was at a disadvantage at the beginning of the battle. Giant pincer mantis, use combo. Wang Ming knew that the Dark Crow's level was much higher than that of the giant pincer mantis, and ordinary attacks could not cause much damage to the Dark Crow. Therefore, he decided to use the giant pincer mantis's famous stunt, consecutive chops. Coupled with the characteristics of the giant pincer mantis as a technical master, the power exerted will be very powerful. If we can stick to Dark Crow, victory is not impossible. HMPH. How ridiculous. Do you think you can hurt my Dark Crow with consecutive cuts? Facing Wang Ming's countermeasures, the man with glasses just sneered with great disdain. Dark Crow, use Malicious Pursuit. Swish. In an instant, the Dark Crow suddenly appeared and went berserk, launching a violent attack on the giant pincer mantis. The dense rain of attacks overwhelmed the giant pincer mantis and forced it to retreat. Boom. With one careless move, the giant pincer mantis was directly knocked away. The Dark Crow was still in hot pursuit and launched another fierce attack. The giant pincer mantis was now in a desperate situation and was about to be killed by the Dark Crow. At this critical moment, an invisible force suddenly fell from the sky and enveloped Dark Crow's head. Dark Crow froze, and for a moment, he felt as if his body was being restrained. However, this feeling comes and goes quickly. In the blink of an eye, Murkrow was back to normal. But just this fleeting moment gave the giant pincer mantis a chance to escape from death, or even turn defeat into victory. You made the move. Wang Ming looked at Kelulian on his shoulder in shock. At that moment, he clearly felt a mysterious energy emerging from Cerulean. Chiru. Cerulean nodded innocently, her eyes as bright as stars. It seems that taking action like this is just its instinct. Well done. I'll reward you with an energy cube later, a long and thick one. Wang Ming touched the small horn on Qilulian's head happily and said with a smile. If it weren't for Qilulian's sudden attack, Giant Pincer Mantis would have been defeated by Dark Crow by now. And it was because of Cerulean's help that Giant Pincer Mantis found an opportunity to turn defeat into victory. The moment the Dark Crow paused, the Giant Pincer Mantis took action without hesitation. In just the blink of an eye, it turned into a red light and disappeared in place like the sun. This guy's temper has also risen. Wang Ming smiled bitterly, not sure whether he was happy or speechless. Giant Pincer Mantis used to be a boss-like character, and his temper was naturally very hot. This can be seen from the time when he chased Wang Mengmeng. Although after being subdued by Wang Ming, his temper became somewhat restrained. But the previous evolution seemed to have completely released its nature, making it completely careless. Now, the Dark Crow was suppressing it and beating it again, which made the fire in its heart keep rising. At this moment, it has reached the point of no return. Why did the aura of this giant mantis suddenly become so violent? The man with glasses also noticed something unusual and couldn't help but frown. But he was not too worried and was very confident in the strength of Dark Crow. Dark Crow, rise 1 meter to avoid it, then use fright. Yummy. Dark Crow's eyes were cold, and the voice he made was like the roar of evil spirits from the 9 nether hells. When the Giant Pincer Mantis was about to crash into it, it suddenly flapped its wings and flew high, forcibly raising its height by 2 meters, and abruptly avoided the Giant Pincer Mantis attack. Immediately afterwards, a harsh and hoarse cry was forced out of the Dark Crow's throat, like a lonely ghost howling miserably. It spread into the air and entered everyone's ears, making everyone present feel frightened, and a strong sense of fear arose in their hearts. Now, use the surprise attack. The bespectacled man saw the Giant Pincer Mantis body suddenly frozen in the air. He looked overjoyed, as if he had expected this, and calmly issued the order to the Dark Crow. Fright combined with a surprise attack is a perfect combination. The man with glasses grinned arrogantly. Fright can make opponents fearful, and their consciousness will go blank for a moment. And a surprise blow can deliver a fatal blow while the opponent is not paying attention. When the two work together, even Lao Yinbi can't prevent it. The man with glasses once used this combination of skills to defeat many opponents. However, the man with glasses' laughter soon stopped. Just when the Dark Crow was about to launch an attack, a gust of wind suddenly blew around the Giant Pincer Mantis. The strong wind howled and surrounded the Giant Pincer Mantis, forming a storm-protective barrier that prevented the Dark Crow from getting close. Facing this sudden scene, Wang Ming couldn't help but have a proud smile on his face. This is his masterpiece. Long before Dark Crow used fright, Wang Ming expected that the opponent would use a surprise attack to launch a sneak attack. Therefore, he secretly asked the Giant Pincer Mantis to condense the whirlwind knives, and condensed a large number of whirlwind knives together to form a whirlwind knife array, thereby defeating the fatal blow of the Dark Crow. Obviously, looking at it now, his plan was successful. However, this move consumes a lot of money for the Giant Pincer Mantis. The current Giant Pincer Mantis can be said to have run out of gas and has no ability to attack anymore. But it doesn't matter. Wang Ming never thought about winning the Dark Crow from the beginning. His real purpose was just to hold back the man with glasses. Now, his goal is achieved. Because, the policewoman Miss Junsha is catching up. You've been arrested. Go ahead and capture it. Miss Junsha spoke with a voice full of justice and pointed at the man with glasses. Windspeed Dog, use Thunder Fang to defeat that Dark Crow. Roar. Suddenly, a large orange canine Pokemon jumped out of Miss Junsha's Pokeball. The raging thunder and lightning gathered in its mouth, and it opened its bloody mouth and bit into the Dark Crow in the air. Before Dark Crow could react to what was going on, he saw thunder pouring towards him from the sky. No, Dark Crow, get away from it. When the man with glasses saw this, he also realized that something was wrong and hurriedly reminded him. Unfortunately, he was still one step too late after all. As soon as he finished speaking, the thunder and lightning in Feng Su Go's mouth had already fallen. Yummy. Suddenly, Dark Crow let out a shrill scream, and his whole body was wrapped in thunder and lightning, as if he was bathing in a sea of thunder. Dark Crow, The man with glasses was shocked and angry, shaking with rage. After a moment, when the screams gradually subsided, the dark crow also lost the ability to fight and fell from the sky. Seeing that the situation was irreversible, the man with glasses became so determined that he didn't care about Dark Crow anymore and immediately prepared to escape. But at this moment, Miss Junsha stepped forward and kicked the bespectacled man on the knee, knocking him to the ground. "Don't move." Miss Junsha grabbed the bespectacled man with her backhand, pushed him to the ground, and snatched the documents from his arms. "Awesome." Wang Ming couldn't help but admire, and looked at Miss Junsha with a hint of surprise in his eyes. It's not easy to even have a wind speed dog. Normally, most of Miss Junsha's elves are Kadi dogs, and few can evolve into wind speed dogs. This is also related to the unique evolutionary conditions of the Kadi dog. In the world of Pokemon, most elves only need to increase their level to evolve, but some elves need to use special props to evolve. Just like Wang Ming's flying mantis, a metal membrane is required to evolve the giant pincer mantis. The same is true for Kadi dog. If you want to evolve into a wind speed dog, you must use the Fire Stone. Fire Stone is a very rare item that is only produced in certain areas. If you want to buy it, you must not only have money, but also have connections. Therefore, generally speaking, it is difficult for most trainers, Kadi dogs to evolve into wind speed dogs. Those who can evolve into wind speed dogs either have connections behind the scenes or are just lucky. And once it evolves into a wind speed dog, its strength will make a qualitative leap. The race value of wind speed dog is as high as 555, which is even close to the third level god. When the mythical beasts do not emerge and the phantom beasts do not appear, the wind speed dog can be said to be the most powerful being. This is why Wang Ming was surprised when he saw Feng Su dog. I hope everyone will support it and subscribe more.